infrastructure is crumbling this evening as the Nintenbyte Podcast continues its unprecedented rise. In cities across the globe, fans are rioting. The Pentagon has issued a statement describing the Nintenbyte Podcast network as a pixel-based prophecy. Some say the rise was foretold, others say it's just a really good podcast. We're talking twisted nipples, milk, and a sock puppet who doesn't talk.
It's dangerous to go alone. Watch this.
Welcome to the Nintenbyte Podcast, bitch.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen, you're watching the greatest Nintendo podcast ever! Yeah!
Is that a Joy-Con in your pants, or are you just happy to see us?
Shut up! Now feel the power.
Everyone, do you feel that?
Oh my god, I feel it!
I feel it too, Gamer. What is it?
It's the power of our podcast.
I feel it!
This is rad, Nintenbyte.
So rad.
Power.
Now bask in their glory.
I'm Nintendo Brian. Oh, baby.
I'm Thunderstash.
I'm Gamebird Classic.
Nintenbyte rules.
Let's rock.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Nintenbyte Podcast, Season 3, Episode 62. We're back. Man, 1 week hiatus, and it feels like it's been a year. I swear. And we're still not even all the way back. Half the crew is missing. No Gamebird Classic today. But it's for a good reason for him personally, so that's good. I'm actually really happy for him. And then no Eric Moore today. Also for a very similar reason, but maybe not a good one. Yeah, it has to work, guys. You know, sometimes you like being on trips for work, sometimes you don't. So anyways, they'll hopefully both be back next week. We don't obviously know we're playing by ear there, but you do have me and Stash still holding down the fort along with some special guests. So let's get our guests shouted out. We are going to have one guest who's going to be joining us a little bit later. You guys know the man, Deacon Sandstorm McDowell. We making an appearance later on in the show. He's doing some stuff with the fam at the moment, but he'll be joining us in a bit. But you know who's here right now? First off, the guy who always reminds me to relax and have a drink. Zoo, buddy. How's it going?
It's going pretty well. Hey, this is Zoo, and either with Flipping the Switch, which is the main channel, or Switch After Dark, which is the new long format video review for Switch Games channel. Depending on where you've seen me, you probably know me either as the guy that is always having long format drunk podcasts that are a hoot, or you know me as that guy that tried to tell you to play Super Princess Peach Showtime one time. So.
Yeah, I knew he was going to bring that up. I knew you were going to bring that game up every time. All right. Then we have, he hasn't been on here in a long time. We have Sega Ram back. How's it going?
Hi, friends. Here's the great Sega Man. Hope everyone's doing well. I second that Princess Peach. Also, Bayonetta Origins, phenomenal game. I think that people should play it. Like Bayonetta 3 was kind of, but Bayonetta Origins, it was pretty good. It's a pretty good game. Pretty good game.
I hate to interrupt, Syed. Did you just say that you second Princess Peach Showtime?
Absolutely. I like Princess Peach Showtime. It was a good game. It wasn't like the best game.
No, of course not. But I just wanted that to be restated for the record. I appreciate that, man.
I haven't played Yoshi though. I will say that I haven't played the Yoshi game.
It's good. It's good.
Okay, I'll check it out.
All right. Well, now that we're done talking about the drivel, Stash.
Hey, stop. Happy to be here. Yeah, you know, we didn't have it last week, and it feels like it was a lot longer. It feels like it's been longer than a week. It's kind of weird.
It is weird.
Yeah.
And I have the show at all. For those who don't know, because you guys don't follow everything. You just tune into the podcast every week. The reason the show was canceled last week, Eric was already going to miss the show, and then I had an emergency trip to the ER that we had no idea if I was going to get out in time. And everyone was obviously concerned and worried. And so it was just kind of one of those, we decided pretty early on that we were just going to pull the plug because it would probably just be the conversation of the whole show in the chat is what's going on with Prime? Is he okay? Does anyone have any updates? So we just decided that, you know what, let's just pull the plug. One of the guests is going to come on tonight. That was supposed to be last week in Sandstorm. And then I'm talking to Tubular Johnson to get him rescheduled for another show. So we're still going to make sure our guests get on and all that. But yeah, guys, I'm doing okay. It was just a little scare. I fell. I have a bad, really hernia I'm dealing with. And getting to the surgery point's been hell. Insurance is being a bitch about everything. It's life. But the good news is I have lost the weight I needed to get the surgery. So now it's just a matter of me having to suck it up because I got to go back to the scene of the crime to get it done. And I am not happy about this. So that being said, hi, guys. I'm Nintendo Prime. Happy to be here. We got some killer topics for you this week. A bunch of game rumors I've got to go over, including an update to one that's been going on for a while from Kiwi Talks. Really interested in that. He narrowed down the WTF game. He finally told us it's one of 3 games. So we're going to talk about that. It's a game that hasn't been announced for Switch 2 yet, but is supposedly coming. And there's some other rumors we'll go over as well. Nintendo back in the news over a fan lawsuit against them over tariffs and fans trying to get refunds. Nintendo lawyers made a response to try to get the case dismissed. We'll go over that as well and our thoughts on all of that. Also, there's a report out there from Korea about a Switch 2 OLED screen. Contracts maybe getting locked in and stuff like that with Samsung. We'll talk about that and some general what we kind of want from sort of revisions for Switch moving forward, whether it's the Lite or the OLED. Because if you look at Nintendo's history, going back to DS, it's pretty much the expectation, even back to the Game Boy Advance, really, because the Advance, the Game Boy Advance SP, and they have the Game Boy Micro. So like they have done this kind of stuff for a while. So we kind of know the way Nintendo's going to do it, but maybe we want to see some different things with each iteration. We'll talk about that. And then I don't know what the 4th topic is because I left it as dealer's choice, mostly because I ran out of time. So who knows? We might come up with something. There's only 2 of us to host today with me and Stash. Stash, what topic you want to take first?
I'll go ahead and take the game rumors.
Okay, the game rumors, cool. I'll go ahead then and take the tariff one just because I'm a paid member of the website that has the report. So I can actually read off all of the quotes from Nintendo. So you don't just get the partial quotes that you're seeing in all the headlines and all the stories because they didn't want to spend $10 apparently. I don't think Stefan Totillo is worth $10. I don't know. I think he does pretty good work. So I give him $10 a month because I literally love his reports. Like he's really good at this. He's back when Kotaku used to not suck.
Was that a thing?
Yes, at one point Kotaku was not a shit website.
At one point.
And he was one of the good writers, and he was one of the ones fighting to try to keep Kotaku good, but he lost that fight to all the
I
losses.
do respect Stephen Totillo, yeah. Always have.
He's one of those few journalists out there that, you know what, his way of reporting and his detailed and how he sources it, I love it. I wish there were more like him in the industry.
Right.
He's one of the few good ones left. I'll say I like everything he does, but no one likes everything everyone does. He's just really good at his job, and that's what I appreciate. So yeah, then Stash, what topic you want to take after that?
Oh, I'll take the Switch 2 OLED.
Okay, that leaves me with dealer's choice, which is totally fine. We haven't had a show in 2 weeks. It's pretty easy to call it with stuff to talk about. All right, cool. Well, Stash, let's get right into those game rumors, man. What are we talking about?
Yeah, so first rumor here, guys. Kiwi Talks, who's a friend of ours, friend of the channels, all of our channels, been on the podcast many times, and he decided to throw a bone in. Was it in your live stream chat? I think last night, Nate.
Literally last night. Yep.
Yeah. No, he just let everyone know that the WTF game that he's been talking about for a very long time, that is coming to Switch 2 eventually. He said because it's taken so long, he wanted to narrow it down for us. And so now he's saying that it's either Power World, Black Myth, Wukong, and or Halo. So let's discuss each of these, why or why not it might be coming. And we'll jump into the other ones after that.
I'm gonna be honest. It's probably Genshin Impact.
It should come to Switch.
That's always the safe shadow choice.
It's still slated.
Oh man,
It's still slated for Switch 1. They haven't canceled it yet.
they haven't. They haven't.
Beyond Good and Evil 2 at this point for Switch 1. That's what it is.
Oh man.
So look, guys, obviously, you know, he narrowed it down to those 3 games. I think someone could correct me if I'm wrong, and I meant to look into this. I feel like I covered this before. Wasn't there a rumor for Black Myth Wukong on Switch 2 at one point?
Yes.
I don't remember who it's from, and I'm sorry. I know I covered it, but guys, I've been living on 8 out of 10 pain for 2 years, guys. Give me a fucking break, okay? My memory kind of fried sometimes trying to remember shit from last week, let alone months ago. But yeah, I was pretty sure there's a rumor already for that, so I kind of feel like that would probably be it. But then, you know, you look at the riddle that went with it, and you're like, well, Pal World doesn't really fit the riddle. And I'm pretty sure he added Pal World as a joke, because I, at one point, guessed his WTF game was Pal World as a joke. And obviously there's that lawsuit with Nintendo, so I just really don't really see Pal World even being in the works for Switch 2 yet. I'm not saying it won't get sorted out someday and come over. It probably will at some point. It's too popular not to, and Nintendo wants to make money. So, you know, as long as they can get this shit smoothed out between them and TPC eventually, maybe we'll get that. But I don't think that's anything being worked on now. So it kind of leaves me with the rumor for Black Myth Wukong or Halo, which is going to PS5 as well. And I know like they're planning to pull back things to exclusive, but this is one they're not. They're going to let this one still go out on PS5. So that does mean, well, if you go back to that riddle, it kind of could be Halo in that riddle that he put out. But I don't know.
Well,
and it would make sense too if they're ever going to try to get Master Chief into Smash, that you would have at least some Halo game on Nintendo.
Yeah.
But I don't know. What do you guys think? Zoo, let's go to you.
Well, so the way I look at when Nintendo pulls third-party games over, and they've generally done a pretty good job of this, honestly, at least on the Switch 1, they were fantastic at this. It's from a lens of curation. And you've actually heard some of them talk about this, which is basically like, okay, we know that the Switch isn't going to get everything that the rest of the 4K twins and PC gets. We know that's not going to happen. But what Nintendo's really good at is taking games from across all of time and taking the best curated chunks from those games. If you told me 6 years ago we were going to get Shin Megami Tensei 3 Nocturne on the fucking Switch, I would have told you were lying. So it's just they really have these amazing ass pulls of like the most curated, targeted games. So I look at this list, and Pal World they're in a lawsuit with, so maybe eventually, but I don't think right now. With it, when it comes to Halo, Halo would certainly fit a game that would be a great targeted curation. But given what Microsoft is saying, I don't know necessarily how much they want to expend to get it over on Switch 2. Maybe if the numbers continue to pop up. That leaves me with Black Myth Wukong, a game that was nominated for Game of the Year, a game that would be a fantastic curation for the Nintendo Switch 2. Would absolutely run well on the system. I got to go with that.
Okay. What do you think, Isaiah?
Oh, I'm thinking Halo. I personally think that I think Xbox really loves their partnership with Nintendo. I say partnership, but their relationship with Nintendo. Halo, if you're gonna put Halo on PlayStation 5, you got to put it on the Switch. That just doesn't make sense. Also, they're already putting Call of Duty on the Nintendo Switch too. So it's not like there aren't teams internally working on games to port over and figuring out how that works. Isn't the Call of Duty team taking over Halo, or Activision Blizzard? Aren't they taking over Halo? I think I read that somewhere. Maybe I gotta look it up. But
Yes.
Anyway, yes, okay, yeah. So it makes sense that if they're going to be porting, what's this Black Ops 7? I don't know what's coming out this year, but whatever comes out, I'm buying.
Modern Warfare.
Modern Warfare. Okay, I have no idea. I just know I'm buying it because I want the mouse
I'm
controls.
only locking that one in because it's the return to Nintendo. I won't
Exactly.
remember any future Call of Duty days.
And I'm the old man here who's just like, looking at that Call of Duty 10-year deal, and I'm like, hey, can we get Call of Duty 2? Can we get Big Red 1? Can we get the original Modern Warfare 4? I'd love to get those. Just get those original. Those were fantastic games.
Yeah.
Well, I'm thinking Halo. I think that Halo on the Nintendo Switch 2 would, if you're gonna put it on PlayStation 5, their biggest rival, I just don't see why you wouldn't put it on Nintendo Switch 2. Black Myth Wukong makes sense as well, but I think that it's to me, I see Black Myth Wukong kind of like Stellar Blade. I believe Stellar Blade is coming, right? Yeah. So Stellar Blade is coming. So to me, that game makes more sense than Black Myth Wukong. And I feel like if Nintendo had to kind of like lean into one, they lean more into Stellar Blade for that more kind of aesthetic of kind of like the more, e-girl, Japanesey, kind of that kind of aesthetic. But I think Halo makes a lot of sense, and I'm gonna go Halo.
Exciting thing about Halo, by the way, we've seen Indiana Jones get an actual physical.
Yep.
The only actual physical of that game is on Nintendo Switch 2.
Mm-hmm.
The only actual physical copy of Oblivion is going to be on the Switch 2 cart.
Yep.
So I am excited. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but if Halo does ever come here, would that be a fantastic, amazing thing to get like Halo?
It make me smile
on the cart, physically being able to do like sniper rifles in the ship to ship level or doing shotgun. Oh gosh, that brings me back, man. We that would be amazing on Switch 2.
Someone in chat said Doom the Dark Ages. Is that coming to Switch 2? Was that announced? I don't think they announced that one, right?
Hasn't been announced yet.
Not yet. Hey, real quick, shout out to Rush Dog in the chat. He says Indiana Jones and Oblivion are Switch 2 exclusives by Switch standards. That's correct. That is correct. Those are Switch 2 exclusives because if it's not physical, it doesn't exist.
I like that. I think Xbox and Microsoft, they're doing a lot of things to lean into the Switch 2 platform. They see how successful it is. I mean, you drop your game on the Switch 2, you're probably getting, if it's a AAA game, it's a bigger game, you might get 1 million, 2 million, on the low end sales. I mean, there's some games that have sold best on Switch 2 that have dropped on other platforms. I just feel like another Switch 2 is early in its life cycle, but I think the more games that a lot of these platforms drop on the Switch 2, it kind of solidifies the platform in itself. And that's important to me as well, because I think that if you're going to sit here and create this brand new platform, I think Nintendo can't do it by themselves. I think that them dropping back to back exclusives, like first party exclusives, is great, but you're still going to need those third party exclusives, and we're seeing some really good support. So I think it's fun.
Absolutely.
Not as good as it can be.
Yeah. I mean, I think this year's big game is still going to be Zelda. I hate to talk about Zelda. I love me some Zelda, but I think that's that's going to be the 90 Metacritic game that they dropped this year. I think they put all the effort into that, but I don't think there's anything wrong with the 80s. I made a video about this, but like even Splatoon Raiders coming out and being like an 80 on Metacritic, I don't think that's a bad thing at all.
Yeah, it's not. And of course, I saw your video as well. And, I agree with you. Of course, if you, again, I always talk about Metacritic and how much stock folks put into it, which is unfortunate because
0.
I mean, but for the masses, not Yuzu. You look at how much stock they put into it, and it's like, dude, that 4 out of 10, are you gonna take that serious? Like do you read some of these headlines? And this is what I always talk about when it comes to reviews. Like, this is literally why I review games, to try and stomp out the stupidity.
Yeah.
It's bad, man. It's bad.
Less water.
Yeah. It's a lot of work. My hands are full.
I think there's a lot of context in written reviews that get left out because they're trying to make that article digestible. And so that's why I really appreciate, I know that technically people don't consider, video content creator reviews as official media, yada, yada, yada. You know how it is. You were at Summer Games, so you know how it was. Like, they were like, oh, you're a content creator, not press. But I think there's a lot of context. Like, for instance, Skill Up does really long reviews. His reviews are, it could be 40 minutes to an hour. There's longer reviews, but there's so much context he's able to put in that video that you're not going to get from an article. So to me, that's more helpful. So I don't know.
Absolutely.
I
like a seminar.
I look behind like somebody like Stan, right? Or I look behind and look at what's back there. Look at the games and the collections. This is a man who plays video games. Mm-hmm. And I'm not saying that the people at IGN and GameSpot, I'm not saying they don't play video games, but they're not giving you the perspective of the consumer, the customer experience. So one of the things I always talk about when it comes to these reviewers, and no shade on people that do this for a living, I want to be very clear on that, but I'm a customer. I buy my video games and I play my video games. And what I mean by that is the reviewer who's getting a game for free and they're not going to the store, they're not getting the game, they're not having that experience, they're reviewing the game on a strict deadline. That's important because that's objective in some ways if you're doing a good job of it. But ultimately, I'm buying the game. I'm not playing that game on any kind of deadline, and it's a very different experience than what reviewers are forced to do for their job, So it's one of those things. It doesn't invalidate it, but it makes me very careful on who I trust with who does that. And there's very few of those individuals, one of which is sitting right here with us. Player Essence being another one. I'll give him a shout out.
I like him too. And thank you.
You bet. Good guy, man. You too, Saya.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Appreciate you.
Yeah, again, that roofie review.
Limits Mindy's. So I have a question for the group. Do you think that games should be reviewed or should score differently because of the platform they come out on? Like, do you think Halo, let's say Halo releases on Switch 2, is that going to get an 89 versus it coming out on Xbox and getting like a 91? I'm just assuming, from what I've seen, I think this is going to be a higher scoring game. I'd say somewhere like 87, 88. But do you guys think that makes as much sense? I mean, I know we factor in performance and things like that, but let's just say performance is the same.
I think if performance is the same, right? And it's truly apples to apples, then I mean, what's the distinction here, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. We just saw this with Resident Evil Requiem.
Yes. Right? Yeah.
Pragmata is a good one too, right? Like
that's a good game.
Yeah, across the board on all the consoles, the game ran great. There wasn't a hang up on performance, but yeah, it got different scores depending on the console and even PC. And so, yeah.
I mean, the way I look at it is a lot of the difference in the review scores are literally just come down to performance. Like even Pragmata plays fine on Switch 2, but does factually play worse on Switch 2 than PlayStation and other platforms. And that's true of pretty much all third-party games. So I kind of get them being a couple points lower just because, if you are only reviewing that version, then maybe you didn't play it, so you don't know any better. But if as a reviewer, you have access to multiple versions and you play the PlayStation 5 one, then you hop down to Switch 2 and it does feel off to you. Yeah, you're probably going to lower that score just a little bit below the PlayStation version because, again, it's not performing as well. And obviously, it's not going to be as good a resolution, especially if they're reviewing on like a PS5 Pro or something. So I get it, why they do it. What would be nice is these outlets that review it on multiple platforms, which I think is great. I think you should review it on multiple platforms. Absolutely. There could be bugs specific to platforms and all sorts of stuff. I wish they would communicate a bit more with this is the thing we talked about before, like review standards. Yeah. Yes. It would be really nice if when I read that review, I can tell that the reason this is a couple points lower on say IGN review the PS6 version than the Switch 2 version. Well, the reason the Switch 2 version is a little lower, it would be nice if it was just clarified that it's actually due to the performance. We had to dock it a little bit because of performance. And instead of reading the review and not even knowing why the fuck this game is lower than the PS5 version,
it's just word salad.
Yeah, it's not even explained. Okay, yeah, a completely different person reviewed this. Yeah, two people review it, get completely different scores. What's the difference?
Yeah,
word salad and vibes.
It's not even explained in the review. So that comes down to review standards. That would be, hey, if we're reviewing on multiple platforms, we should have a standard for how we handle that and explain why score might be different on a certain platform versus another. Not just, we have different people reviewing the game. No, what's the standard here? So that bothers me. But when it's just outlets that only review Switch 2 games, like Nintendo Life or something, okay, their score's going to be whatever because they're not playing the other versions, right? So
yeah, when I review my games, I'm reviewing them on. Typically, it's going to be mostly handheld, a little bit docked just to check out performance, right? But I prefer handheld. I'm also I internally I have a score weirdly enough between 1 and 7 in my head. You'll never hear it in the review because the point of what I'm trying to do is to explain to you what I took out of that game. So it's not just going to be a mechanical, it's going to be my experience with that game, the things I took from it, the things I connect to it, how I felt playing it. ultimately what I got out of that game. So that's kind of the way I look at the experience of trying to review a game, at least from my strange perspective.
Yeah, makes sense. One thing to note too, and then I'll transition back. I'll actually give my answer to the question that I asked about the rumors, but I bookmarked this earlier. One of these Splatoon Raiders reviews gave it a 6 out of 10.
I saw that.
And it said, so it said, by removing turf war and transitioning to something pretty close to a first-person shooter, Nintendo has taken what makes the franchise unique and discarded it. And the person quote retweeted it and said, one of the 6 out of 10 reviews rated it low because it removed turf wars. How did they miss the whole point of Raiders being a spinoff game? This is what I'm talking about. It's like, whoa, what?
Like, so bro wanted Splatoon 4. That's what.
Yeah,
yeah, that's what he wanted. Splatoon 4.
He gave it. He docked it points because it's not part 4.
Why did they cut out turf wars in Splatoon 4?
Yeah, sorry they didn't make Splatoon 4. They did a unique single player co-op, experience that isn't like Splatoon 1 through 3. Sorry.
Yeah.
And marketed it as such. There's no confusion.
Never pretended this was a multiplayer game, battles or anything. There was no pretending the entire time they advertised this game.
But they didn't make the game I wanted.
They didn't make Splatoon 4, so I got to dock it to a 6. Like,
I heard that the Splatoon Raiders actually has a decent multiplayer. Like people were posting the multiplayer, and I was like, "There's multiplayer in this game." Like I didn't even know that.
I've heard because you can do it's optional, right? So you can do the whole game by yourself, but you can have up to 3 people play with you, whether local or online. And what people are actually impressed about is playing with randoms online. That sometimes it's like a fucking shit show, and a lot of games are like this. Apparently, in this game, it's not. People are legitimately just like playing it and having fun and actually working together to get through shit. I'm like, all right, I like that. Of course, it's before the public release. The trolls are going to come in. It's going to happen.
Oh yeah, 100%.
But the media members that are all playing it right now, or people who have access to it right now, they seem to be like just having a blast. Like, dude, I never have this much fun playing with randos in a PvE game. And I'm like, hey, maybe that's also good signs for what it's going to be like to play Dustbloods in a PvE game.
I sure hope Duskbloods, but again, that would be. I really hope Duskbloods does have some kind of single player component. But again, that would be like reviewing Duskbloods, where everything they've telegraphed so far, there's no single player component, and being like, man, why doesn't this have a single player component?
Yeah,
that's basically what they're doing. Or like the new Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time remake coming out. I'm hearing a rumor, guys, that you don't have biology class in Ocarina of Time remake. If that happens, gonna have to mark the game down.
Yeah. No, it's like Elden Ring.
Biology class in Zelda.
Elden Ring and Night Rain. It would be like if you gave Night Rain a low score because you're disappointed it's not single player. It's like, well, that's not what it is. What are you supposed to do? All right, let's get back on track though. Circle back to that original question of what game I think it is. Look. Black Myth Wukong. I mean, that's on my bingo card. That's happening. That was on my bingo card in January. That's happening. That is not a surprise. That is not a WTF in the least bit. If
Nathan Hate is the rumor for Black Myth, by the way, guys.
If Kiwi's trying to sell that as a WTF game, come on. I don't think he is. I think that's just in there. Power, that would be a WTF for
pretty obvious
some
reason.
of the wrong reasons. Yeah, like not exciting reasons. Look, I mean, it's also on my bingo card, Halo.
Mm-hmm. That was on mine too.
Yeah, it's Halo. It's Halo. It's common sense is Halo.
Please,
and that would be a big deal.
Be the only physical version again.
I need that to be that. That's so funny. It's so funny every time it happens.
So even Microsoft knows that Nintendo people like to buy physical.
I'm still floored that they were able to get that absolute spaghetti code nightmare of Oblivion remastered. That Unreal 5 spaghetti code nightmare on a cart. I'm half terrified to see how that thing runs. That thing's going to run like a bag of assholes. But if it doesn't, I will play. I will break my Morrowind exclusivity, and I will play Oblivion. That is my promise to everybody. If it runs well.
Well, here's hoping. It doesn't run well on some of the other systems. I don't. Hey,
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Well,
PC was crazy. I didn't like it on PC. I had to
like,
put
what
it
are we
down.
hearing though? Everyone's saying like, hey, when we make our games on Switch 2, we're actually getting better at optimization.
No way.
Well,
No
maybe
way.
you should optimize your games regardless of making it for Switch 2. I don't know. But
Does this industry even remember how to fucking optimize a game? Like outside of Nintendo?
that was just a report that what game was it that said, hey, as we're bringing this to Switch 2, it's actually running really well and like 40 plus FPS. Oh, and by the way, we learned so much in optimization. We're actually applying it to the other versions. I'm like, wow, why did nobody decide to optimize before that? Like, come on.
It goes to my point, man. Half of the game industry's problems is the fact that they don't fucking optimize their games anymore. It's half their problem. It's why
Dragon's Dogma 2. Thank you guys. That was the one. I knew it was a pretty big game. Yeah, that was by Capcom or whatever. They literally said, hey, the progress we've made with this is actually making all versions better. I'm like, dude, why are we here? Like, that's good. I'm happy. But also, all I'm hearing is we didn't bother to optimize this for anything else. Like, come on. I know they have much more powerful hardware, but you could take better advantage of it if you actually optimize for it. Don't wait for like the weakest platform you're going to make it for and be like, well, we have to optimize it for this one. Oh, now that we optimize it, actually, this runs pretty good. No shit.
But Prime, that's the frustrating thing. The frustrating thing about this whole optimization snafu is that's what the new hardware goes to. That's why the graphical increases. That's why the diminishing returns are there. That's why all these new consoles are overshooting the market. It's because optimization is eating into they tell us the promise is we're going to have a new system out and the graphics and the processing and all that's going to be better. But it's not, because what ends up happening is those machines are not leveraged to do better things with games. They're leveraged to not have to optimize their shit as much. And it's noticeable and everybody sees it. And that's why things are a little tense between customers and game industry right now, to be real with you.
All right. Let's get into the next rumor here. So, Stellar Blade, that was rated. When do we think is a good time for that game to release, knowing what the release calendar looks like?
August.
Really? Okay.
Well, Nintendo has nothing slated from themselves in that month yet, and we know how packed September is.
I was gonna say October. Like, it feels like a Halloween game. Right. I know it's not Halloween themed, but it just feels like something you'd release around Halloween.
Look, he likes to see that ass on Halloween. We got it.
I feel like they're giving
the game camera angle does it. Okay, there's no point in pretending. They intentionally made us look at her ass. It is what it is. It takes up like a third of the screen.
Funny enough, I played that whole thing on PS Portal, so I've actually already played it like quasi in handheld.
Nice.
I enjoyed it though. I enjoyed that game.
It is a good game. That's the thing. Like, it's legitimately a good. I'm really happy we're getting it.
Yeah, I'm definitely replaying it though. That game was really fun.
So for August, we have just overall kind of like big picture, not obviously Nintendo, but we got Final Fantasy Online.
Yep.
We got Lies of P.
Yeah.
The big one.
I'm happy for that one.
Physical owners.
Really happy that's coming over.
Elden Ring Tarnished Edition. Yeah, it's a big one. And then Oblivion. Again, another big one.
All big releases. Mostly
big third parties. Yeah,
So
Metal Gear Solid. Master
I think they're
Collection
giving that
2.
for a third-party showcase month.
But we also got the Pocopia DLC coming out.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Okay.
I totally forgot about that because I don't have Pocopia.
I gotta finish it. Jeez.
There is something there
That
for
game's
Nintendo in August.
Okay.
As far as DLC goes.
Fire Emblem's coming out. Fire Emblem's coming out late in the year. Right?
September, isn't it?
That's September too. Jeez. Jeez. Still a booba.
September's packed for every console.
Yeah, Fire Emblem's the 17th of September.
The chat is hilarious. Y'all are hilarious.
I got a great chat.
Oh my god. Okay. I think September's gonna be a great month for a lot of cool games.
September's nuts, yeah.
That's so expensive. Oh yeah, because everyone's trying to avoid GTA. What if GTA is the WTF game? What if GTA?
They're getting their shots in, man. Everybody getting their shots, and it seems like only Nintendo's gonna take those giant fucking balls and plunk something down right in the middle of GTA. It seems like so far. We don't know yet, but it seems like it's gonna be Ocarina of Time.
I would be mad because I do want to play GTA, but I would definitely stop playing GTA for Ocarina of Time.
I actually think I was just the last time I was on this exact podcast, I was telling people I'm not saying that Ocarina of Time is gonna do the work of knocking out GTA 6, but I do think there's a lot of people, in particular in the Nintendo community. I think there's a lot more people than they think that will actually opt for Ocarina of Time if they have a choice.
I agree with that.
What's up, Sandstorm? Welcome.
What's good?
Hey, Sandstorm.
How you guys doing?
Good. How you doing?
Does my mic sound okay? I've been having mic troubles issues. But...
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Sounds good.
Sandstorm, Stellar Blade. When do you think it's going to release? What month?
Man. So in my optimistic mind, I want to say it's going to be in August, and it's going to be even for Switch. I think it's going to be really packed because I think that leaves us 3 games in August: Oblivion, Stellar Blade, and I feel like there's one
Elden
more.
Ring.
Elden Ring. Yeah.
And Lies of P.
Oh, and Lies of P. Yeah. So I think that's going to leave it really packed, which is not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. My pessimistic mind says that it's actually going to be all the way in December. So, and
I would hate that. That makes me sad.
I know, because like everything in me is like, man, I definitely want to play the game and I want to get my hands on the game. But it's just that like that one time every time where you're like, man, I can't wait for this game to come out, and it comes out in the most like inconvenient of times. You're like, dang, all right, I guess I'll get around to it. So yeah, so I want to say it's August because I feel like that's actually a great time and a great turnover from when we heard that it was like from its revealing. I always think it's really huge when they show off a game and then like, by the way, it's next month, come get it. So and I always have that like the buyers, what do you call that? Like impulse buy.
Impulse buy, yeah.
Yeah, where it's just like, it's right there. I'll just go ahead and grab it. But man, just I would even say just the way that everything is lining up into September and how big September is getting into November. I know they're not messing with November. It's not happening. December is like the only month where there's like, it's like vague. So there's a whole bunch of mist and a whole bunch of shadows, but nothing like really explosive in December. So it's like, December safe? We could go December.
We could, yeah. Now, December is usually kind of a bye month for Nintendo. That's the only thing. Like, I think Xenoblade Chronicles 2 launched in December, but that's the only real big game. I'm sure there's more.
And, well, Smash DLC, but that's different.
Right.
Xenoblade 3 is coming out in December.
Oh, okay.
That's
Switch 2 edition.
The Switch 2 edition?
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, I gotta say, those Switch 2 editions are fucking awesome. I gotta tell you, I'm playing Xenoblade X right now. Holy shit, is that game? As much as I crap on the Wii U, I gotta say, the Wii U had something special with that game.
X is a masterpiece. If you never played it on the Wii U, you're doing yourself an injustice. And if you never owned a Wii U, dang, you're doing yourself an injustice.
Does it keep this pacing the entire time? I'm on chapter 5, and every chapter there's some new shit being thrown my way that's like, what?
Yeah, it's a great game. It's one of my favorite games of all time to be.
Oh, I can't wait to do my video. I can't wait. It's gonna be so good.
Yeah, so December is usually where games go, to die.
Yeah, I don't think Nintendo's scared of GTA. I really don't. I think it's two different audiences, or if it's the same audience, it's the same audience that would buy both games. Like I'm gonna buy GTA and Ocarina of Time. Like
Nintendo's not. Yeah, no, Nintendo's not. I mean, like December in general, releasing your games in that month has spelled doom for anyone. I mean, look at Indiana Jones. I mean, again, when it released on Xbox, there's a lot of things you could probably blame. One of them being, hey, it launched right into Game Pass and nobody buys games on Xbox. I mean, it's fact. We know that.
Oh, that's why I laughed. Absolutely a fact.
Yeah, so it could be a lot of reasons, but December has always been a rough month because everyone does all of their shopping during Thanksgiving. And then after that,
broke.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
And they don't want to go back out.
The spring.
They're done. Yeah, so right now we only have 2 games on the calendar for December. Not just for Switch. Period. Right now we got Xenoblade 3 and Dragon Quest Monsters.
Okay.
Both on December 3rd. That's it so far.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens. I mean, I think there's room to put some games in there. I don't see why not. But again, publishers avoid December. They always avoid December.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think August could make sense.
For Ocarina of Time in August?
No. Ocarina of Time
Stellarblade.
is definitely not. Yeah.
Stellarblade. I'm sorry. I thought we were talking Ocarina of Time still. I was like,
no.
I was like, are you
No.
serious? Y'all nuts?
Nah, man. When it comes to Ocarina of Time, I think Nintendo has no worries whatsoever when it comes to releasing that in November.
Oh yeah.
I expect it in November.
I can't.
Yeah, me too. I expect to be early November.
I argue that it will probably be when's GTA, the 19th?
The 19th. Nintendo can do it.
I argue they throw it in on the 18th and say ha ha.
We can have a Grand Theft Ocarina of Time.
I think it would be a great time. It'd probably be great for gaming.
Barbenheimer? Yeah.
What is it? Barbenheimer? It's like the
Barbenheimer.
Barbenheimer of video games. You get GTA 6 and you get Korea.
That would be an insane week, bro.
It'd be fun. It'd be so much fun.
Yeah, it would. It would. I bet, like, on what you're running over hookers on one hand, and then on the other hand, you're saving the world from Ganondorf.
Yeah, sounds like a great time, dude.
All
right, so are we saying we're hoping for August?
Yeah.
So Celebrate, absolutely. I want to play that soon. I want to play that and not get rid of it, but like get through it. Especially since I played it before. I don't think it needs to be something that's like a big. I do want it by itself because I personally like that game. So I would like for it to be in August where there's not as many releases, so people can really appreciate it. Because I know it sold well on PlayStation 5, but I think the PC release and the Switch 2 release is definitely going to help push the next one. I think I got Celebrate 2. I forgot what the actual name is, but the second one's coming out. So
okay.
Oh, they do have a sequel to that, don't they?
Yeah.
Coming. Yeah.
She's a little young, makes me a little uncomfortable, but I like Celebrate. I'll play it.
Right.
Well,
long as
what I always tell people is
Stay dry.
I wasn't. The game doesn't necessarily make me uncomfortable, but some of the people who play the game and the way they talk about it makes me mad uncomfortable. So, the game itself is fine. It's just that, boy, there's some terms gooner, I think, but yeah, it's that are weird about it.
They're a specific type.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So one other one. Assassin's Creed Black Flag.
Oh.
Resynced, right?
Resync, yeah.
Doesn't Ubisoft usually do like anywhere from 6 to 8 months after when they port? I think I read that somewhere. Maybe not true, but I'm just asking. Yeah.
Ubisoft, if I remember, I mean, it's been a while since I really messed with the Ubisoft game like that. Yeah. But it used to be that Ubisoft would drop them all together or not too far away from each other. That could be different now. Ubisoft, I feel like Ubisoft and Nintendo ain't the same Ubisoft and Nintendo from the Wii U era, or even the Wii era. I feel like there's like, I don't want to necessarily call it bad blood, but it's just the vibe just seems a little bit. That might just be me. The vibe.
I talked with Ubisoft at Summer Game Fest. They were there with Nintendo.
Okay.
They were there with Nintendo. Like Nintendo put them up basically in their house.
No matter what they do, they've already. My joke is my old man sense of humor says, "Hey, I've already got Black Flag on the Switch, so I'm good." like whatever they want to do.
Yeah.
That's a great game.
It just released right in July. I mean, it honestly, if they want to release it on Switch too, they'll probably do it before Christmas. I think that would make the most sense for them. They could hit that March time frame, but I feel like a port in March when they can release something else in March. Because March to me is like, I don't say second Christmas, but a lot of games will release in March and then do well for the year. I don't know why that's been the last 4 or 5 years. Just games in March just kind of come out and just kind of take over the talk.
I guess they like to close out the fiscal year with the release in March to jumpstart their next year.
That's part of it. The other part is March is about that first month, so a lot of people they really blow their financial wad during the holidays. And March is when
March is the first time to recover.
That's the recovery. That's when a lot of profit sharing get paid. That's when a lot of bonuses get paid. That's when a lot of people take their piggy bank and refill it.
That's when the economy starts spending again, is in March when people get their tax returns.
Return. That's why I always said the Switch was the smartest idea. Drop in March 3rd. Like
the first year of the Nintendo Switch, Nintendo had something to freaking prove, man. That is a clinic on how you launch a system.
Absolutely.
That's the year we got the December game. Like every single month, they're like, here's a first party game. Even December, it's like, yep, here's Xenoblade 2. Here you go. Every single month. Every single month, darn you.
I know somebody said Lego Batman in September. I do want to highlight that game. That game is pretty fun.
I've heard it's good. And
Lego games do well on Switch platforms as well.
Oh yeah.
I don't even know what else. I mean, what's up for Lego? Was a Lego Horizon? I don't think I even bought that. Horizon Zero Dawn, that
Lego Horizon.
I
didn't buy that.
I bought it at Costco. My lady saw it and she's like, "Hey, did you want this? It's clearanced out for I think it was $15." I'm like, "Oh yeah,
really?
Pick it up."
And that's why we love physical. That's why we love physical. That's the last time we're ever going to see that, though. They're not doing that again.
I know.
Right.
So sad.
Yeah, I don't really know too many ports I'm excited for. Like I said, Halo, I'm excited for. Like, I do want to see Halo. That comes out in a couple of days. I want to co-op that. I think it'd be really fun to co-op with some friends. But as far as any other, that's kind of like the main port I want to see. I don't think there's any ports I actually care to see now that I think about it. Well, PlayStation's not porting anything over as far as first party. And third party, we're getting pretty much not everything. We're getting pretty much everything kind of delayed. 007, I think 007 is going to be fun on Switch too, just because the game itself is fun.
Yeah.
It's a really fun game.
Did I hear a rumor that we're going to be getting another 2D Sonic game or something like that? I don't know if that's true. I remember hearing something about that, but
we need Sonic Heroes. Forget all that. Give me Sonic Heroes.
I was going to say, but if we get another like Sonic Mania, that might be an excuse for me to go out in my face mask and my trench coat to try to buy a Sonic game and not be spotted in public.
You were talking. You guys were talking about the what the game is. Pal World and Wukong.
Yeah.
And Halo. So what did you guys, I didn't catch that part. What did you guys kind of fall under?
I mean, I believe Simon Ryan believes it's Halo.
Yep. Halo.
Okay.
Black Myth is, I think that's in the bag. Foregone conclusion. It's not a WTF scenario.
Yeah, I think that Halo actually is more. Cause I said Black Myth Wukong. I didn't know that they specifically said it was a WTF game. So if that's the case, yeah, we know Black Myth Wukong is coming. It's going to get curated at some point. We know that.
So, hot take. Very hot take, actually. Scorching take. Amongst the three that I saw, I actually think it might be Proud World to be serious.
Okay.
I think that's
WTF for sure.
Yeah, I for one obviously for the most obvious reason, right? How dare they put Power World trash on our Nintendo systems?
I feel like the fans care more than Nintendo does. I personally feel like the fans care a lot more than Nintendo cares.
So this is where I have to be like, hey, did you play the game? Because a lot of the people, that's another problem I'm running into on weirdo Twitter gamers that don't play the games they talk about. I had this one guy literally being like, new Star Fox remake sucks. I watched a cutscene on YouTube and that cutscene looked bad to me and that game sucks.
Yeah.
I'm like, did you play it? He's like, no, I don't have to. I watched the cutscene. I'm like, unbelievable.
That's not how it's so funny because people think that's how that's how gaming works, and that's not how gaming works. But to go along with what you're saying, like Pal World fundamentally does not play the same as Pokemon
at all.
And
the people comparing it are the gamers, not it's the gamers.
Now, if you
don't play anything.
So I did want to say this about the whole Pal World thing. Can I say this, Stash? Am I qualified to say it?
Yeah.
Okay. So I wanted to say this about the whole Pal World thing, especially since we got the Pal World version of Kyogre. I don't care either way. I'm gonna tell you that. I'm gonna tell you this. For any of y'all who will think left about Kyogre and the new Pal World Legendary, whatever. If you think right about it, whatever. This is all I'm gonna say. And this is coming from a business perspective because it only makes the most sense, right? Does not matter about the shape, doesn't matter about the color. I know the first thing that people say is, oh, Nintendo doesn't own the rights to this, or Game Freak doesn't own the rights to that, or blah, 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 blah. None of that matters. None of that matters. What the Pal World creators did was they took a design, they made something for themselves that looked similar to something else. It didn't need to look exactly alike. It wasn't stealing or anything like that. But think of as a businessman. Think of Stash as a business, right? Stash got a whole bunch of great ideas, amazing ideas, but he's starting off from like next to nothing. Now, if Stash has a great idea and he wants to get it out there as much as possible, he's going to familiarize it with something else. It's going to be very, very familiar with something else. When you think of Stash, you think of a long mustache. You think of long mustache, you're thinking of certain celebrity. Stash going to put those two things together. And be like, but I didn't get it from him. This is my own thing. I'm Stash, baby. You already know what it is. But people are going to have that conversation like, I don't know. I feel like Stash twisted the end of his mustache a certain way and it looked like somebody else. That's what they want. They want that conversation. They want people to have a conversation between them, and especially Pokemon, since that's one of the biggest franchises, if not the biggest franchise in the world. They want to have those back and forth conversations. Like versus if Stash came with something completely new that nobody could relate to, it's not going to take off like that. Nobody's really going to have that conversation. So that's the reason why I believe personally that it looks like Kyogre, doesn't look like Kyogre, the colors are the same. That's conversation. That's generating interest that they want. And that's good business at the end of the day. So whether you feel yes or no about it, I think they made the smart move. I honestly think they made the smart move. So with that being said, I do definitely think Pal World is coming to Switch. And I think at the end of the day, I think Nintendo's going to be like, thanks. You know, pass us our money too. You go ahead and take your side. We both win it.
Yeah, they get a cut from it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, you know, Digimon story just launched for Switch 2. And Nintendo put out the trailer for it.
Mm-hmm.
It was on their social media. And you look at Pokemon and Digimon.
Yep.
Right? I mean, the thing is, though, is that, again, Nintendo's not necessarily concerned with that.
Yeah.
Nah.
Like, we want the games on Switch 2.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. When you're a platform, you want to curate games. That's what you want.
Exactly.
And as like I said, I played Time Stranger. I really like it. When people compare it to Pokemon, I kind of have this conversation all the time. There's so many things that Pokemon does right, and they do it in such a specific and unique way. It's really hard to mimic that. And Time Stranger is one of the first times I saw Digimon say, hey, we're going to take this turn-based format, but we're still going to apply it Digimon way. Because some of my frustrations about the game was the core of Digimon, with like how you got to Digivolve and de-Digivolve. I was like,
the digitize and de. Yeah, that was
bro.
So I go over this a little bit, in past videos I've done, but Pokemon is 3 games. It's 3 games in one. Yeah. It's a JRPG.
Mm-hmm.
There is the meta game, which is a competitive battler,
mm-hmm.
and it's a collectathon.
Oh yeah,
It's 3 games in one.
And a monster tamer.
And a
Yeah,
monster tamer.
and
Yeah.
4 games in one. Yeah.
So I think that they don't care. I think the fans, we care more.
Yeah.
Like as someone who's played Power World, I'm like, I don't get Pokemon vibes from this. Like the creatures are similar, but like okay, like I also played Coromon, and Coromon, the creatures like Coromon to me is more of a clone than Pokemon than Power World is. But
yeah.
So I don't know. I think like I said, I don't think they care. I think what matters the most to Nintendo is, hey, is this game going to sell if we bring it to our platform? And Power World will. I think people would get it just to meme on it, but I think also in the same vein that it is a really good game to have on the platform because you do have people like me. I think there's another game that's coming out that's more that's a better case. What's it called? Animo, I think it was.
Oh, Animo. Yeah.
Animo. Yeah, I think that's I think if that release that to me is more similar to Pokemon than Power World is. But if that release and it came on the Switch too, like I think they're like, okay, cool, because you still can't. At the end of the day, you still can't outdo Pokemon. You know how much work you have to put in to outdo Pokemon to cut into what they got going on. If anything, Pokemon fans are going to support that other game and Pokemon.
Right.
They're not going to not buy Pokemon.
It's like
that's just not happening.
Yeah, like Power World shows up and everybody's like, "Oh, well, we're done with Pokemon." Yeah, that's not happening.
Yeah, it's a lot of this is tribalism. They see Power World like, especially some Nintendo fans and some Nintendo fans. We all know.
Yeah,
they see another game and they're just like, that game is bad because
it's not Pokemon.
Pokemon no like that. This game bad, and that's not necessarily how Nintendo sees it. And it's if you would play the game, you would actually see that it's quite different. But you don't play the game. You make 170 posts on Twitter about a game you haven't played because you're weird.
Yeah, it's a stretch to ask me to play the game. That's a stretch. It's a lot. You're asking a lot of me.
All right. All right. You guys ready to jump into the next topic here?
Yeah.
Real quick, I'll be right back. Go ahead and start it because I already know what the topic is, but I got to go. My Jamaican beef patties and plantains are here. Got to go. I'll be right back.
All right. Okay, so there's a report out there that there's a switch to OLED in the works. And first question, I guess. I'm going to ask it all together. Do you guys trust the report, one? If so, when do you think it's coming out? And are there any quality of life features that you would like to see added to it? And let's kind of start there on your guys' thoughts on, switch to OLED.
I think OLED is 100% coming. I don't know if it's coming this soon because of how everything has transpired with tariffs and pricing and things like that. RAM. I don't know if they're going to be so excited to push out another product so close to the fact that we still can't. I mean, we can afford a Switch 2 right now just because it's one of they only raised it $50 in September. They gave us a lot of notice, but I don't know if they're going to be. I don't know if they're going to want to push a OLED out so fast. I think going back to what they said, hey, we're sorry we had to raise the price $50. We're going to make sure we give you guys some great games this year, and they've been delivering on that. So I think that to them was their focus right now, to deliver some great software. Because if not, you kind of put us in a situation where now we have to kind of. Because I want an OLED, but also it's like, I know that's kind of selfish for them to release it just so I could buy one. Like, it's okay. I can wait.
Yeah. No,
Okay.
I totally hear you on that. Okay. Sandstorm, what are your thoughts on it?
I believe that there's a switch to OLED. Like I believe that there was a Switch Pro.
Okay.
No, in all seriousness, is there a switch to OLED? I do think that Nintendo is dabbling around with the option of trying to be able to do that. I think its use and its functionality would be a little bit different this time around over the original Switch OLED. I think it's going to be more of an emphasis on extending out the generation, especially given that OLEDs, for the most part, have prettier visuals than the LCDs, its LCD counterparts. So I do definitely think that they will have some sort of SWOLED too.
Love that.
I do. I know, right? I do agree, though. I do definitely think it's going to be further out, just because of all of the craziness and ridiculousness that's going on in the world right now. So yeah, I don't expect it anytime soon. This is 2026. I think 2030 or 2031. Like I do definitely think it's going to be a ways away. Just for two reasons, actually. Not even just for Nintendo. For one, I'm definitely curious, and this is only for me. I don't think this is a Nintendo thing. But if it was my business, once again, if it was my business, and I already have my new next generation system out, and I know that my competition is coming out, and from what I'm hearing, they're coming out with handhelds for their systems too.
Yeah,
I'm a easy push on the brakes, not full stop, but push on the brakes just a little bit so I can see around the corner to see exactly what those handhelds look like. And then I give it a year or two, and then boom, I drop my OLED. Like, oh, you thought I wasn't y'all thought I was gonna be an OG? I'm the old and the young here. But I think I think personally that's a smart move. It especially gives you an opportunity to see how your competition is looking in your space. But I also think that the push out, like I said, is mostly because of manufacturing and all those other things. Because I don't think we're getting a Switch 2 Lite. I don't think that exists.
Really? You don't think that exists?
I don't think so, man.
Okay.
I was just about to say that I think instead of an OLED, I'm more inclined to believe a Switch 2 Lite.
A Switch 2 Lite?
Personally, I believe that more than an OLED dropping
goes
next
in the
year.
cheaper direction.
Yes. I think that's the smartest move to say, hey, sorry, everything's expensive. We can give you this for $300. And if you told me a Switch 2 Lite right now for you're laughing at the price, Prime.
It's not gonna be 300. Holy shit.
Okay, 350. Okay, but if you told me 300, 350 for a Switch Lite, that to me, because again, the reason the Switch was so successful was because you could buy multiple of them and it made sense. Like one household may have had 2 or 3 Switches. So my kid, he's turning 7 for on Halloween. Okay, cool. I'll give him a Switch Lite 2 or Switch 2 Lite. You know what I'm saying? So like, I think that will make more sense than saying here's an OLED model that costs more expensive and it's nice screen and specs, because we don't care about specs. Like, we've already showed we don't care.
I think at that point
for saying that.
I think at that point you're right. I think you squeeze the game even tighter. Because what's the Switch, the OG Switch Lite? What's the price on that right now?
$250 it was when it launched, right?
$250. So you got that at $250. The regular
was
Switch is
what? Was it less?
It was 200.
It was 200. Oh,
well, what is it? What is it now? Did everything go up?
It's like 230.
229. Yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
so
but like that's insane. Who would kill for a $200 console?
You got the Switch.
Okay, so evil king of numbers here. Okay, let's take a look at the geopolitical and the macroeconomic environment of the world right now.
Come on,
the economy is barbecue chicken. There are 19 wars going on right now. We have production lines that are being disrupted. We've got an AI slop bubble that is about to just further destroy RAM prices. And they're doing it again. They're doing it again, guys. They're doing it again. The first year of the Nintendo Switch 1, I had to start hearing about Switch 2s and Switch Pros and revamps, and the freaks are doing it again. They're doing it again. And I don't know why it's almost like they intentionally do this to Nintendo and they push them toward more tech, more hardware. It's just crazy to me. You can make an OLED. I'm sure it's going to happen at some point. Don't know who the fuck's going to buy it except the whales. I would absolutely see them going more in the light direction, just because aside from your high-end buyers, nobody has any fucking money anymore. That's the thing. You've got idiots like me that buy 100 games a year, and you've got everybody else that buys 2 games a year on average. You just got me over the hardware hurdle into the Switch 2 reluctantly, and now now there's rumors about okay. Like, I don't know. What are we doing? What are we doing in this industry where we cannot face the fact that we have overshot the market so bad at this point? What are we doing? I know it's a rumor, but what are we doing?
I'll tell you what I know exactly what they're doing. They're planning for the future. The world doesn't stop running just because the economy sucks now. Nintendo ain't worrying about just now. They're thinking 4 years, 5 years, 6 years out. The Switch 2 OLED rumor has like the screens being produced at the earliest at the end of 2027 or early 2028. Okay, that's the earliest they can be produced.
I'm cool with that. Yeah.
They're not dropping a Switch OLED till like 2029 or later. So like, of course they're working on it. Of course they're working on contracts right now for that kind of stuff. Like that's normal.
How
like
much
they
are they
plan
going
this
to be?
ahead of time. So I think Nintendo, their hope, I think a lot of people's hope is that eventually the RAM crisis goes away.
Mm-hmm.
And then the prices can kind of stabilize a bit, but it's kind of weird because it's like, well, they're not going to lower the price of the Switch.
It's possible. Yeah, it's possible.
They probably won't. They'll probably hold it at 500, and that's fine. But that also means, okay, well then if the Switch 2 OLED's only 550, okay, yeah, there'll be plenty of people that'll spend the extra 50 just to get that.
Oh yeah, easily, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
and here's the thing: they could offer something in it too. They could be like, "Hey, yeah, the prices came back down, so now we have 512 gigs."
Yeah, but Prime is the world going to get better or is the world going to get worse?
That's the we don't know.
All prognostics say worse right now.
Yeah, I know. We don't know, but Nintendo's got to project out for a lot further than just right now.
I get that. No, I get that.
And obviously, they might assume if we get a new president, they might take care of the tariff problem, and that could also help lower stuff for at least in the U.S. That won't help deal with.
We might drop the current conflict zones to 12 wars because believe it or not, that has a massive impact on you.
It does, yeah.
So I think Nintendo's just planning for the future. Right now, I don't know if they plan for the Switch OLED at one point to be a more powerful system. Because if you're going to charge 600 or more, it better be more powerful.
Yeah.
That's how you can convince people to double dip who own Switch 2. It's like, oh, it's a better screen and I get a little bit better performance. Yeah, okay, I'll go get that.
Right.
Sure, they could do that. Another thing, though, like the Switch Lite obviously makes the most sense. If you look at the history of Nintendo, they always bring out the Lite first before they have a more expensive model. So my thinking is if they're trying to get a Lite out, they're trying to launch it at $400. They're trying to get it $100 cheaper than what Switch 2 is going to be up to. That's crazy to think that $400 is suddenly a budget thing, but they can't help it. That's how much it costs to make shit.
But again, it's the economist question, though, too, and I agree with you on that because it's compared to what?
Yeah.
Look at everything else.
Yeah, you're going to feel like dirt cheap when Xbox Helix and PlayStation 6 get announced.
Yes. I'm scared of that Helix.
That $400 Switch 2 Lite is so scary that is going to be the budget system. But it's going to look super fucking budget compared to everything else on the market.
I guess, and I sound like Old Man Rivers or the Pepperidge Farm guy here, but like we overshot the fucking market 20 years ago. The most popular games still are in the top 10 are games like Terraria, Minecraft. Like, when is the game industry going to come to grips with the fact that, hey, why don't we actually take this hardware and just push it to its 120% maximum and stop chasing fucking new graphics and new systems? When are they going to figure this shit out, man?
Shareholders.
Yeah, it used to be that way, but we
we
wanted to streamline graphics and
PlayStation 6 bombs, and all their money they're making is still just selling the games on PS5. Maybe that'll be the lesson.
Yeah.
I can't see myself getting.
They have to have something. I mean, it's going to take something like a PlayStation 6 bombing for any change to happen.
The irony in that is that 2 generations ago, like the top selling, well, not the top selling, but the PS4 was what, $400 on entry, and now two generations later, for $400 you can get into the entry of what is next gen at this point. I think that's wild. Like in a good way and in a bad way. It's like
it's double edged for sure.
It's like it's crazy that like you can get the next level of all these games from a Nintendo, from Nintendo's newest system for $400 that includes 4K and 60, all the buzzwords that they like to use.
Well,
and then, but on the flip side, it's like, dang, everything else is like $900.
Well, and I'm old enough to remember when games used to be cheap software, cheap hardware inexpensive or expensive software. So you would get the video game system for relatively cheap, but then the video games were $60, $70, $80, $90, $100 sometimes back in the 1990s. But then you'd be $149 for a Super Nintendo on sale.
That's why everyone rented, maybe. Rent back then.
And all you got was Chrono Trigger. That was the only game you had all generation.
Chrono Trigger. I remember Chrono Trigger
game a year and a lot of rentals.
What's the other Chrono? It's Chrono Trigger. What's the other one? Chrono
Cross.
Okay, I bought Chrono Cross when it came to Switch, and I was like, "How do you play this game? What's going on?" It doesn't.
That game has the strangest battle system I've ever seen.
I have no idea how it works.
Paired with the greatest soundtrack I think my ears have ever heard. It is such a clash. I still haven't figured out the battle system in that game either. I do like the soundtrack outside of the demented clowns are like coming to like fucking attack me in the which is like the main soundtrack for the battle. But everything else, the overworld themes and stuff, that game is masterful, dude.
Yeah, okay. I got a couple minutes in. I was like, what the hell am I doing? I'm just gonna put this.
If you can figure it out, drop me a line.
All right. I'm going to give you guys what I think is going to happen.
Okay.
And I'm going to say that this is with pretty close to 100% certainty. Switch 2 Lite will come out next year. It'll release at the same time as Pokemon Wind and Wave. That'll be the ticket to get into next gen gaming.
Oh man, and that's actually a smart move. That's actually a really
that's brilliant.
A very smart move.
Okay,
especially so that's what they'll do. And
what if it's a better battery life too?
Could be, but then here's the thing with the OLED. 100% think that's coming too. But what's most important right now is the entry points into next gen gaming. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because of the market. You hold the OLED for when Sony or Xbox announces their handheld console with an OLED screen.
Mm-hmm.
You already have yours ready to go into production, and then you beat them to the punch, and you release the OLED to the market so it can be there at the same time as the PlayStation handheld or Xbox handheld.
Yep.
And that's the play. That's exactly how it's going to go down.
Dude,
and undercut them by launching it alongside some big ass fucking exclusive.
Oh
yeah, they will undercut them too. 100% by a good margin.
A little bit cheaper, and here's a big ass fucking game. Which one are you gonna buy, them or us?
Yeah, if you're gonna do it smart, like what Stash just said. Yeah, do it really smart.
The pricing for that, they absolutely need to wait to see what the competition's doing.
Yeah.
The PS6 handheld for sure is going to be more powerful, so it should be significantly more expensive. So you gotta be really careful there. You don't want to be like, oh, we're launching this at 600, and they're like, actually, we're going to eat losses and launch it at 600. Like, oh, okay, well then you're going to have to undercut that.
Yeah, you got to wait. You got to have that patience.
Absolute hopium that it's $600 for a portable PS6. That is, I no way think that's going to be the price.
I don't want them to drop a PS6. I don't need that.
I don't think any of us or the world needs it, but it's going to happen.
This is what's going to happen. People are going to play God of War Laufey and be like, wow, this runs amazing because Sony Santa Monica knows what the hell they're doing. Yeah. People are going to play Laufey and be like, we don't need anything else, because I still remember playing Ragnarok and like I was playing like 1080p 120 because I was playing like a 1080p monitor, but it had a high and I was like, I'm playing this at 1080p 120. This is my standard for all PS5 games, like first party. Didn't happen, but like that team's gonna put out an amazing game, and folks gonna be like, "Oh, I don't need a PS6. These other games are just unoptimized," and that's it. That's gonna be in the
Ragnarok is beautiful game.
I think PS6 adaptation is going to be slow, but Sony has already set the standard. Like for the first 4 or 5 years, everything's crossed into PS5 anyways.
Boo.
So like you really don't even need to upgrade anything until the 2030s. Maybe you can maybe even skip the whole PS6 generation away for PS7.
That would be nice.
I'm another hot take. I feel like that's gonna happen. Like I wholeheartedly, especially with how close this stuff is to like PCs now, like it only makes sense, and the only way they tell you no is because they don't feel like it, not because it can't. They just don't feel like it, and they want you to pay extra. I think you're right though, Stash. I think waiting until they drop an OLED to drop your OLED. So, but here's the thing though, too. I think when you talk about them dropping OLEDs, gotta remember you the king. You're the king of the handheld. You're the king of the handheld game. So I feel like even because we already have the Switch 2, most people already know how it runs and how it operates. Even if you don't actually own one, you know from the original Switch. That brings leverage to it because there's already familiarity with there. Over the next PlayStation. And to be honest with you, we don't really have all that information with PlayStation, with the next PlayStation anyway. So this whole digital life and library and all that other stuff may hurt them more, even on a handheld perspective. Probably not in Japan. I actually think it'll do really well in Japan. But outside of Japan, I think it's going to be, yeah.
They love their physical games more than we do.
Well, there you go then.
No one's talking about that. Like, I brought it up a couple weeks ago. We was talking about the effects that this will have on Japan's market with the physical games. And again, I haven't seen any outlet, nobody talk about it. I listened to Spawnwave and Stephen Totillo's podcast over the weekend when I was at the gym. I was hoping they would touch on it. I was hoping he would ask him. They didn't talk about it. I'm like, shit.
Well, they're not
talking about this,
talk
man.
about it.
This is a big
They're
deal.
not going to talk about it, Stash, because they're too busy. They're all too busy running a demoralization campaign against physical media. I've seen
the campaign. I know. I mean, long enough you live, you see through that.
Only 7 games sold over 100,000 physical. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Those numbers are so skewed.
Notice me,
I'm a video guy.
Notice me, Sony Senpai. Notice me, Sony Senpai. Can I slap it off a little bit more, Sony Senpai?
People making those articles. I'm sorry. Did you not check the Circana data? Tamagotchi Life released physically and sold millions physically, literally months ago. What the fuck are we doing? Commit to
demoralizing.
People will fucking buy it.
We're demoralizing. It's a very simple answer.
They're just lying.
They're manufacturing. Well, yeah, it's part of it. They're manufacturing consent for the direction they want the industry to go in. That's what they're doing.
Yes. And you could see right through it, obviously there's a lot of people who can't see through it. And that's how the world works though.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of sheep. We know this. It's just the facts. It's how life works. You live long enough, you see it. Is what it is. But I think we can all see right through it. They're working in coordination with each other. The Sony and the media outlets. This isn't the first time stuff like this has happened.
No, man. I always tell folks, reading homework for the chat if you want to. Crystallizing Public Opinion, Edward Bernays. Manufacturing Consent, Noam Chomsky and Herman. Edward Herman, I think his name is. Influence, Robert Cialdini. Read those 3 books. You will see exactly what is happening here.
Yeah.
Exactly what's happening here.
Yeah. It's done in all facets of life, not just consumerism, not just the things we talk about. It's all facets. We've known this.
It is. Those books can teach you a superpower. They literally can. And they will change your life. When you realize that, like, most people are actually not making decisions rationally, they're making decisions and then rationalizing their decisions afterwards, flips the entire way you view the world, man.
Yeah, it's key. Okay, so we talked about that. We talked about the light. Talked about prices. We talked a little bit about that. So I think a sweet spot for a Switch 2 Lite, if things stay where they are, we don't know what's going to happen. If things stay where they are, 400, Switch 2 is 500. If Switch 2 goes up to 550, Switch 2 Lite 450. I think you try and keep $100 difference. When it comes to the OLED, hey man, again, I don't foresee the OLED just yet.
Yeah.
I would say 2028 at the earliest.
Maybe alongside 3D Zelda.
Yeah, that could be a great time, and you could
Because
do
Zelda,
a switch to OLED Zelda
Zelda
theme.
do like a Zelda themed one. The Zelda fans will just eat that shit up. You're gonna sell millions during launch month. They'll buy that just to collect it.
You know what I think? I think it should be.
That's me.
I
fuckers.
honestly,
You're making me buy the $600 OLED, you fuckers.
honestly think if PS6 comes out at the end of 2027, whatever game is the game besides GTA 6 that drops on the handheld that's digital, the first thing that they should show in the trailer, because Nintendo is petty and I love it. They're one of the most pettiest companies. I think it's hilarious. I think they should have like one of those, like, you know what I mean? Like, woo, like rotation of the system. And then like the back opens up and it's the exact game that just came out on PS6, but it's the cartridge version and somebody plops it in. And then it's just like, you know what I mean? Like, dang, that was petty. They don't even have to say anything about it. Just like, just put it in, just slide it in and be like, switch to OLED. And then just keep it like that. Somebody's like, wait a minute.
Well,
wasn't that the game that came out for the PlayStation?
I like that publishers are leaning into their games being physical. Obviously, we saw that with Oblivion, which was, it's funny.
That was perfect timing.
Perfect timing.
Absolute perfect timing.
Yeah. You couldn't have planned that better. Orbitals, they've been touting like, it's physical, it's on cart. Even if you pre-order, I think it's $40 too, which is a great deal. But yeah, I think we're going to continue to see a lot of physical games on Switch too. And so Nintendo will have all those opportunities because, all their first party games are, on cartridge, except for, of course, Pacopia. But I expect all of them to be on cart going forward.
Yeah, I think cart is going to be the way they go for quite a while. I mean, do we see a digital future for them in the generation 11
for Nintendo?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't
think so.
It's a long ways away. If you look at how long Switch One's generation was.
Yeah.
It's a while.
Almost 10 years. 10 years next year.
Yeah. And they might find that they really enjoy being like the only one at retail.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
They might be like, this is worth it. Let's keep doing this.
Right.
We got no competition now. They're not here.
Where's your money at? It's not over here.
Well,
Yeah. All the stores, Target, Best Buy, Walmart, they're putting our games and our systems in their weekly ad every week. They're advertising us on their website.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're creating foot traffic for us.
Yep.
And that's how the business works. And when your competition just goes away because they don't want to make physical anymore, it's like
you feast.
They forfeit at retail. Gave it to you.
And I don't think that Sony is thinking about the fact that the retail presence, it's such an important aspect of how gaming has gotten as big as it's gotten. Having that cultural footprint out in stores, and hell, some of our grocery stores sell games, man. And it's one of those deals where like it's present, it's there, it's the number one way a lot of people that aren't gamers can take a look and see gaming having a presence in the culture and out in the world.
Mm-hmm.
And it's amazing to me that they're just willing to just toss that in the dumpster, man. It's crazy.
What's interesting too, guys, is that like say Walmart carries PS6 and Target, they're not making any money off that. If they are, it's very, very slim. They don't make money on the hardware. You make it on the software. And if you have no software to sell, what am I carrying the hardware for? Why am I letting this take up shelf space if I'm not making a profit on it?
Yep.
I think it's also interesting that a lot of the games that like sell gangbusters is like this crazy. Like look at Mecha Chameleon. That's not on the PlayStation 5. You're expecting that success from your first party games when we know that you're struggling to get to 10 million. and now you're taking an option away from consumers. I don't, and I am a digital gamer. I keep saying I'm a digital gamer. I got a digital PS5. I play a lot on PC. My Switch still have a couple cartridges, but pretty much, But I think that they're making a interesting play. And I know the numbers say, oh, well, they'll make the differences because they don't have to pay the middleman and that. Like, yeah, but also like, there's a lot of people who still buy their games physically, and you'd have to sell a pretty convincing game digitally to a lot of people to make up that money. Because they're looking at the numbers as if, and I'm sure there's people who are smarter than me who've seen these numbers, but a lot of times when this is explained, it's like, oh, the same people who bought it physically would just now have to buy it digitally. But there's a lot of people who won't buy it digitally, and there's a lot of people who only bought that game because they saw it physically in the store. Sometimes you see cover art and I got $70. Correct. I'm already spending $400 at Target with another 70, and you grab it. It happens to me all the time. Like, oh, I'm already in here spending however much money. Let me grab this random thing. Yeah. I did the other day for some Pokemon cards and pull the Greninja. Because I was like, I'm already in Target and I'm already spending like $50. What's another 10? But that happens all the time with physical things. Mm-hmm. So it just, I don't know. I think they're
and I was talking to a buddy of mine who's in the games industry, and he was kind of making, and he agreed, he doesn't disagree with me or anything, but he was making a devil's advocate case and being like, well, you hear a lot of people talk about used game sales and how those cut in. I'm like, buddy, that doesn't matter. You don't have a right to a secondhand sale. You got your sale when the game sold the first time. Right. If you want the used game sale, you can build a brick and mortar store or an online storefront, and you can sell the secondhand games and make that's another product. There's the new game, and then there's the person who built the digital storefront, or they built the brick and mortar store, and they're selling another product, which is the used game. You already got your sale. That's why there's a fucking used game. You got
there's another thing too that I was thinking about as well. Is that a lot of gamers, the reason they're able to buy a new console is because they were able to trade in their games. Yeah. And the reason they're able to, like, I think we all know. I mean, there was all a point in time where we were young, living on our own, and probably barely making it, right? Mm-hmm. Yep. But we still want a game, but it's tough, dude, and I get it. So I think a lot of us like literally limped in to gaming to like a next generation by trading stuff in. Mm-hmm. Like we barely got there. You saw the trade-in values, you're like, oh my God, just barely made it. And you won't be able to do that. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And when you can't do that, that means that person can no longer buy the games, which is what you make profit on.
That's a devastatingly good point, Stash, because the other part of that aspect is people usually will turn around, they'll buy that game, and then they'll turn around and they'll use that money to buy another game. Yeah. And so you've cut yourself off from an entire purchasing cycle.
System, yeah.
Yeah, like who walks out of GameStop asking for the cash when store credit's like, 20-30% more? You're like, I'll do store credit because I know I'm going to buy another game, even if I'm not buying one today. But most likely, if you're going in to trade in, you're buying something today or you're pre-ordering something today. That was the reason you went.
Yeah. You
didn't just decide to up and trade in your stuff and sit on store credit. You had a reason for doing it, most likely.
Yeah.
It is going to be very damaging, that as the days go on, you think about it a little bit more. You let it continue to simmer, and you think about like some of these other scenarios. You're just like, this isn't going to be good. Did they think this through all the way?
People have no idea.
It's funny because it reminds me of the. I think I've said this before on the channel. It reminds me of like the mid to early. Well, it reminds me of the 90s to the 2000 era where PC was slowly going into the all digital kind of format in the first place. And I asked this question on the channel on Saturday, was like, how do you, if PlayStation and Xbox were still going to be in the store, how do you see that being? And it was kind of like, you still have your games, you still have your posters and all that stuff that's still, all over the wall and everything. and you still buy a box, but it's just got that week old little code sitting in it. And it's like, dang, that reminds me of like the 90s PC era. Like, oh, you want to play a game? Here's the code. And you gotta scratch off the little code off the back of the manual, typing in, oh yeah, that is you. Yeah, you did buy the game. Like, that's so depressing. But I say that because, like you said, you can't turn around and be like, you know what? Code wasn't for me. I want to return this for a different game. Like, it just doesn't work that way. So it's
and that brings me to the fact that these assholes literally made me not hate game key cards anymore. I hate and please note that that's not to say that I like game key cards and I will ever buy one. But I can't even shit on game key cards anymore because of these stupid assholes.
That's so funny. That is
how the tides have changed.
I know.
Okay.
All right. We ready to jump in then to topic 2?
Sure.
The tariffs.
Yeah. All
Tariff
right, guys. So there's been a little bit of a controversy, I suppose, as some people would call it. Kind of lots of different thoughts and opinions. We're going to get those on this show because Nintendo, they sued the government a while back to get their money back after the Supreme Court deemed the tariffs last year to be illegal. And they basically told the government, hey, you need to refund all these businesses. So basically, they probably didn't need to file the lawsuit, but them and thousands of other companies did. All those lawsuits were kind of packed together and put on hold by the government and the courts because basically the government's already being forced to pay back. So they're just sorting out how they're going to pay all the companies back and their plans for that. So that the lawsuit Nintendo filed and all these other companies filed probably don't really matter that much. They're all packed together and they're all going to get their money. But there was a countersuit, a class action by 2 people that basically went after Nintendo and said, hey, that tariff money isn't yours. It's ours. And you are enriching yourselves by keeping it. Now, only one, I'm going to say this, out of all the businesses that were tariffed, which is pretty much every business in the U.S., because all of them deal with foreign stuff, only FedEx has technically promised to give tariff money back to customers. They haven't actually given it back yet. I want to be very clear about that.
Let me know when that happens.
But they said publicly they would. They said publicly they would. It's like $800 million. They said they would. I don't know. So maybe you get a $1 check in the mail if you used FedEx last year. I don't know.
Right. That's why I pay PayPal now, because they'll just send it right to you.
Yeah. So look, and this assumes they ever fulfill on that promise, and if they don't, then they'll probably get sued, and then there'll be class action. Next thing you know, we'll get 50 cents instead of $1. Either way.
So
we're the only one to promise it. So in response to that lawsuit, Nintendo's lawyers have basically filed to get it dismissed and tossed out. And that is the news that broke the internet this week. And that is because the story was broken by Stefan Totillo. You can request the court documents. They are publicly requestable. Most people aren't going to go through the process to do that, to actually read it. Stefan Totillo did, and it's behind a paywall. I happen to be a paid subscriber of his for last year. So I'm going to give you guys all the details Nintendo said. I'm not going to show his site. I did that on my video.
Hooray.
We're going to read, so you have the full context of what Nintendo's lawyer said, not just the headline. Because the headline is just like, you basically fuck consumers. Like, hold on a second. Actually hear what Nintendo said, and then we can talk about what they're talking about.
Do we even need it? Are people smart enough? Do we even need to read the full? Like, do we need it?
Yeah.
Are people really this fucking stupid?
Zoo, you know this.
Okay, go ahead.
You already know. All right. So I'm just going to read the article here, including all the quotes here.
All right.
So this is written by Stefan Totillo about the Nintendo trying to get the case dismissed. So Nintendo is asking the court to dismiss the proposed class action suit that was filed this past spring by gamers who say the Mario Maker is breaking the law if it doesn't pass on its U.S. tariff refunds to consumers. Those consumers, and here's a quote, received exactly what they bargained for when buying the price hike Nintendo goods last year. That is Stefan Totillo's words. The quote representative. Just to remember, the lawyers didn't say, that. People get confused that the lawyer said that. No, that is Stefan Totillo throwing that in. And yes, there were price hike Nintendo goods last year. So that's not a lie. He just doesn't clarify what goods those are here. Anyways, and the company said in a filing on Monday, in the case of Hoffert et al. Versus Nintendo, plaintiffs are not entitled to a rebate simply because of an intervening legal developments related to tariffs. That is a direct quote from the lawyers. Nintendo increased the price of Switch 2 controllers and the original Switch last year. So this is where he's adding in the context. Following the imposition of globe-spanning U.S. tariffs, and tariffs described by Nintendo's lawyers on Monday as sweeping and constantly changing. I think that's an understatement. At least what was happening last year. All right. This past February, the U.S. Supreme Court ruled the tariffs were illegal. A month later, Nintendo sued to get a refund. In April, gamers filed the class action claim against Nintendo in Washington, saying it would be illegally double dipping if it made money from tariff hike sales and then from a refund. The gamers sought relief for anyone in the U.S. who bought price hiked Nintendo items between February 2025 and February 2026. Now, here's a bunch of direct quotes from the actual way to get it. They're trying to get it dismissed. We obviously don't know the results of that yet. So the common thread among plaintiffs' claims is that it is somehow unfair that Nintendo has not retroactively adjusted its prices for completed sales in response to the outcome of the tariff litigation, the company's lawyers wrote in today's motion to dismiss. And here's more quotes, but that is not how commercial transactions work. Nintendo or one of its retailers set a price for each product, and consumers decided whether that price was worth paying. Those who bought Nintendo's products received exactly what they bargained and paid for, a console or an accessory at a price to which both parties agreed. The money plaintiffs paid represents the purchase price of the goods they wanted and received. Plaintiffs are not entitled to a rebate simply because of intervening legal developments related to tariffs. Nintendo's lawyers argue that the plaintiff's position would force any transaction with any company to be subject to retroactive adjustments. In a request for dismissal, Nintendo said it did not pass on the full cost of the tariffs to customers, absorbing some of the tariff costs, and with the Switch 2 in particular. By the way, most of the tariffs Nintendo paid last year were the 20 million Switch 2s they sold. So let's go ahead and read what their lawyers are pointing out about this fact, because people, I don't think they realize you're arguing to try to get like $1. Okay. Like its market peers, made the difficult decision to adjust some of its prices in response to market conditions, including costs of memory, labor, shipping, and tariffs. Unlike many of its market peers, however, Nintendo did not simply increase each product's price by the amount of the tariffs it paid on that product or impose an across-the-board tariff surcharge. Instead, Nintendo imposed modest and selective price adjustments, and it chose to bear the cost of the tariffs on some of the most popular products of 2025, including the flagship console, the Nintendo Switch 2. Now, it does note in the above section, Nintendo attributes a portion of the 2025 price hikes to be caused by the tariffs, but not just the tariffs. Because again, memory, labor, and shipping, other factors were going up, and we now know are still going up. It's getting kind of crazy out there. So it says, the company said it would be arduous for it to calculate the specific portion of any price increase that were due to tariffs. Quote, that allocation is difficult enough product by product within a single company, the lawyer states. Nintendo lawyers also argue that gamers who sued could not have sustained a substantial injury, which is the grounds for suing, from the price hike Nintendo goods, because there were alternatives. Quote, if a customer did not want to pay the advertised price, they were free to just abstain from purchasing the product or seek out a competing product. The company says it believes the gamer case should be handled through private arbitration, but it did file for a more public request for dismissal just in case the arbitration was denied. Class action lawsuits have been filed against other big companies with similar arguments about consumers deserving the unwound tariff revenue. Among the companies facing the suit is also Sony for the increase of prices on PlayStation. So they're facing the exact same suit. We just not have seen any public response from their lawyers yet.
Oh, of course.
They're probably pretty similar to Nintendo's, if I had to guess.
Yeah, they'll sit back and wait.
Well, they're all going to say the exact same thing because
they're all going to say the exact same thing.
And so, oh my God!
All right, Zoo's ready to pop off, man. He's ready to blow. Go, Zoo. What do you got, man?
So I've learned a couple things today. I'm always learning. I'm always trying to learn from gamers, the worst customers. So I've learned that we don't know what a contract of adhesion is in this community. And I have also learned that people have grown up in the United States. These are grown-ass people, ages 20 to 65, And these grown-ass people don't understand how things work in this country yet, first of all. So, first of all, you're mad at the wrong people. Go yell at the government that imposed the tariffs. Because the company is actually a victim. And again, I'm always known as a fierce consumer advocate, but the consumers are fucking stupid. The problem we have is that you're mad at the wrong people. So I know Nintendo sucks. I know Nintendo greedy. I know Nintendo evil. I know. But in this case, go be mad at the people that imposed the tariffs. Go be mad at the governments that did that. Don't get mad at the company that is also a victim of the tariff. Also, when you purchase that product at a store, whether you're buying a delicious pork butt on sale for 99 cents a pound from my local grocery store, which I'm an executive of, and if you're in the area, please go, or whether you're buying a video game, when you purchase that product, you have signed what is essentially a contract of adhesion. And what that means is that you looked at what you were buying, you decided, yeah, you know what? This sprocket, this widget, is something that I'm going to make great use of when I get home. And I am willing to pay the $69.99 for the widget. You go to the cash register, you buy the widget, and you take it home and use the widget. You've already agreed up front to everything that you've done. You've had it in your hand, you bought it, you took it home, you used it in this case. You have just told, with a binding legal agreement, that you agree that price was fair for what you bought. Otherwise, you wouldn't have bought it.
There was no contingency on, well, we don't think it's worth the price if the tariffs were rescinded. That was not part of the purchasing agreement.
That's right.
Tariffs made me do it.
There's no contingency on your purchase.
Also, they mention arbitration. The reason they do that specifically, guys, is because in the video game you bought, that is your only recourse. So it's already also in the game that you bought.
Yeah.
I'm not saying this is good or bad. I'm just saying I am floored that grown-ass adults don't understand how things work in this. They don't understand what a contract of adhesion is. They don't understand the way a capitalist country that they've lived in their whole life works. It's insane to me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say I don't think I bought anything that was crazy as far as gaming that got hit with tariffs crazy like that. But even if I was in that situation, I just don't think that I'd be asking Nintendo or any company for my money back, because at that point, like, I already bought it, you know. And also be mad at, like you said, be mad at the right people. I'm not mad that company A or B had to pay a tariff, and like we had been saying this entire time leading up to the tariff talk, that will be passed on to consumers. I'm not mad about that part. I'm mad about the people in power who decide to impose these tariffs.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, that makes a lot more sense as a logical course of action or course of thinking. And I understand everybody ain't gonna do all that. They aren't gonna, you know what I'm saying? I understand that. But I don't think that like I didn't know what a contract of whatever you said is, but like I also have common sense of, like, if I bought something at a certain price, unless I don't want it, I need to return it at that certain price. That's pretty much what the price is.
Well, yeah, you know what a contract of adhesion is. You've used it your whole life. You don't have to necessarily know the term to know what it is. Like,
the purchasing
you live
agreement.
in a capitalist country.
You agree to a
why
price.
people are raging about this. I really don't.
Yeah, I don't get why people think so you agreed to a price at the store when you bought the fucking you think you just get money back just because you want it back, because the company that you bought it from is now going to make a little bit more of the money you spent is now going to go to them instead of the government. I don't really.
The word they're looking for is rebate. That's what they want. They want a rebate.
But rebate is like, I bought a car.
You want to rebate?
If I do this, I get $1,000.
Go to your politicians and tell them that, hey, you should give everyone. Hey, you had no problem handing out free money during COVID, so how about you just rebate the country for being a fucking idiot?
So, and that's the thing. Like, man, nobody wants to go after the games industry more than I do. Well, maybe Phil One Up collects, maybe he does, but in general, I want to go after these guys, but this ain't it, guys. This is not it.
This is so
stupid. This is so stupid.
There are much louder or much more things we need to fight currently in the gaming industry than getting a couple bucks off. I mean, if you really care, I saw somebody say in the chat, if you really care that you pay that extra bit on that Nintendo camera, if you return what you bought, or if you can't, whatever, I don't know. But if you like sell it, I guess you go to Target, they're like $10 right now, like 10, 15 bucks. Like I saw one the other day. I was like, I don't want one because I don't care about the cam feature of my Switch 2, but cool.
Well, and it sucks so bad because it's always directed at Nintendo. I just have to say that too, man.
Yeah.
And part of it is because they're the ones that actually filed the countersuit. I get that. But at the same time, like, it's always towards Nintendo. Like, all these, in particular, these manufactured outrages. Like, whether it's this or whether it's, hey, there's a pay to chat button. No, there's not. No, there's fucking not. Not how
that's so crazy to me.
Yeah,
because like, what is the PS5?
You mean to pay the chat button that you can remap to do anything you fucking want?
That's right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So again, I also am very critical of Nintendo at times, but we've got to use our heads, man.
You know,
it's the internet.
Well, I mean it's even like the game key card stuff, and we're not going to go into whether they're good or not. But Nintendo gets all the flack for it because they're the only one being transparent about it.
Yeah,
exactly.
Like, they're actually informing the consumer what the fuck you're buying. Hey, let's yell at them about it and forget that Sony and Microsoft have had those kind of discs on their systems dating back to the Xbox One and PS4.
Yeah, and
because Nintendo's telling you about it and letting their consumers make an informed decision when they buy. Sorry, I don't look. You don't have to like them, but at least Nintendo's not trying to pull the wool over your eyes.
I want to push back so hard, but I'm not. I can't, and I'm not going to anymore because it's stupid now.
It is stupid. Like, why is Nintendo getting blamed for all this shit when they're just being transparent?
It's stupid.
How about you ask for Sony to slap something on the box? Oh, you don't want to do that because it makes the boxes ugly. Okay, cool. So you want consumers to keep buying things that they think are full physical games that aren't. All right, sounds good.
Yeah, it's and again I have some resentment to that because it's stupid, and you've made my past argument stupid. Thanks, guys. Thanks, guys.
And at this point, Sony made everything move because they're just not going to make physical games anymore. So
I really want that. I really want that box, that key card logo put on the back. That doesn't even on the front. Let's move that. That's very. I
get why they did it, but like, come on. At this point, the person who bought it knows it's the key card. I don't need it necessarily.
I don't care if they know it or not. Put it on the back. It's so ugly, bro. It's an eyesore.
It's an eyesore, but they're doing it because they're being transparent. They want you to know. No, you do need internet to use this.
It's for old fucks like me. Is what it's for.
It's for the parents and the grandparents buying the game for their grandkids. They got to know what they're buying.
But I'm telling you, I'm hearing this. I'm still not going to buy
internet to use this.
I sure want to play Elliot. I sure want to.
I will say this though: we are seeing more and more games go full physical on Switch too. Now that there seems to be other cartridge options out there, like the 16 and 32 gig seems to be out there. So now we are starting to see more full physical. So I do think key cards are they're always going to be around, but they're kind of just going to replace the code and box games.
Yeah.
And eventually, a majority of games go physical, just because the physical sales are so fucking strong on Nintendo's system, man.
Yeah,
I think because I mentioned this earlier. I don't know if we were talking about it on air or not, but I go to my local library, and so the fact that I can go to my local library and get a game key card and use it in my system, I think that's better than a lot of other options that a lot of other platforms can have. So I like the concept and the idea behind the key card. I understand it's not the best solution, but I think they did a really good job saying, hey, you can still stick this in your cart and you can give it to other people. You can still resell it. Yeah. I think that's actually pretty good. That's just me.
Yeah, I mean, they're trying to make a way for a shitty situation for there to still be at least some sort of benefit to the consumer. Because the reality is, a lot of the third parties want to go digital only. A lot of them do only release their games digital only. And
K27.
You go back to the Switch, guys, and we'd be like, oh, we didn't have key cards on the Switch. You're right. You had code in boxes, and then you had 8 gigabyte carts that required you to download 70 gigs of a game. It's the same fucking thing. It's
and we didn't buy those. We didn't buy those because there was plenty.
Like, all they did is they universalized and said, hey, we have a game key card. If someone wants to put your code in the box, which, hello, EA, thank you, Split Fiction, dumb fucks. Hey, you know what? They can't even buy a fucking key card. So that lets you know that how little they give a fuck about giving you consumer options, because they won't even go a key card. It's still a code in the box.
That should be a whole thing, bro. You didn't even buy a game key card.
we should be ranting and raving about it, but then PlayStation said, "Fuck it, we're done, and we're only doing code in boxes." So, at this point, I can't even be mad about anything Nintendo's doing because somebody just said, "Hey, Nintendo, hold my fucking beer."
Yeah, that's what happened. That Sony came with that chainsaw and cut the fucking legs out. Right.
Like anything we complained about Nintendo since Switch 2 came out, completely fucking irrelevant now. It just doesn't fucking matter anymore.
Yeah.
Like, because when someone just pulls the rug that fucking hard and lies about it, it's like, oh fuck, dude.
And what sucks is, like, as a physical gamer, I know I'm being herded toward that slaughterhouse. I know how this works. I know this is domestication. I get it. And it sucks. But again, compared to what Sony's doing, like, you sound like a fucking idiot if you're ranting against key cards now. So I still hate them. Still not gonna buy them for now.
Yeah, I'm not a fan, but it's just kind of like, okay. Well, at least Nintendo didn't just pull the whole fucking rug at once. Jesus Christ.
Man.
Give us time to like adjust and accept reality. Nah, we're just going to fucking yank it 2028, right when PS6 comes out. Have a good fucking day.
Boom, baby.
I mean, and I know why Sony did it. They wanted to get the bad news out now, so that's not the focus when PS6 is announced, but it's like, come on. People aren't going to let this go. You keep trying to sweep it under the rug and people aren't letting it go.
That's the other problem is demoralization campaigns only work when people are already pretty sufficiently demoralized and people get off of a subject. This subject's not going away. So I don't necessarily know how well this is going to work.
Yeah. I mean, look, this is the one thing Sony has finally made a decision that I do wonder if it'll impact their next generation sales, actually. Like if people will legit just be like, hey, some of your whales, some of your biggest purchasers are physical purchasers. They're the ones buying hundreds of games.
500 Switch 1 games. 500.
Yeah, like your whale. You're talking about your whales. Like, come on. These are the people that have been your ride and die since PS1. And you're like, hey, yeah, we ain't gonna give you the medium you want anymore. Oh, because no one's buying it. Oh yeah, what about that Insomniac leak that showed Spider-Man had 73% physical sales out of 12 million copies sold? Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, you just lie to your customers that people aren't buying physical. You fucking stupid.
Well, that was different. You know, that was just different.
That was a different time. So different time. That was 2 years ago, different times.
Oh, okay. So yeah,
Phil anymore.
So Phil is here.
Ghost of Tsushima was only sold digitally, right? No one bought physical copies.
So Philly is here in the chat. He says, I don't think it's irrelevant. I still think it's an issue. We can't say this is worse than that to excuse what Nintendo has with key cards. But yeah, Sony's decision is worse in comparison. Phil, and I love you, brother, but Sony's decision is so bad in comparison that, again, I as I said, I still don't like
how they're doing it. Like even how they're treating people as they announce it. I'm like, dude, they just don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, not telling your partners was kind of crazy. Not telling your biggest partners is wild.
Was almost apologetic by comparison.
Yeah, dude. The partners didn't even know they were gonna do it. Like, that is fucking wild. They didn't tell anyone. They didn't even tell anyone. We're just doing it. That's crazy. Like, I'm like, dude, these partners are how you make most of your fucking money. Most of your money is made off the 30% cut of third-party sales, and you're not gonna fucking tell them that you're removing an option. That is wild. They found out when the public finds out. That is insane. That shouldn't happen. That would be like a game developer coming to be like, oh yeah, we found out Nintendo has game key cards. How? I don't know. That's the only thing they offered to us.
Well, they're going to find out real fast how right Gabe Newell is about the piracy issue too, because I have a feeling a lot of PlayStation fans are going to be One Piece up in there.
There has been more progress made on the PS5 emulators since that physical announcement than all the years before it. Like, we're actually to the point it's almost gonna be possible to emulate PS5 by the end of the year, and all of it is driven by the fact that everyone's like, "Fuck Sony, we're done."
Yep. I thought they cracked it earlier this year.
Yeah, it's cracked, but like the emulator wasn't running very well.
Oh,
okay.
And
all of a sudden, the news came out, and they just started fucking slamming away. Like, no, it's a priority now. We're fuck Sony. By the time PS6 comes out, we're fucking emulating everything.
I will definitely try that. I will definitely try that.
Yeah, we are
games at home.
One Piece.
Yeah, you piss off people who stood by you. Oh, they're gonna prioritize fucking you over now.
Yeah.
I don't think they even have I think when you deal with like an all digital or an all digital fan base, like look at PC gamers. Like, PC gamers typically stand together on a lot of different issues, and like a PC gamer's buying habits are completely different because they understand like they are buying a digital game, they are buying from these particular platforms. It's a different mentality, and I don't think the average console gamer has that same mentality. And so I'm really interested to see how that works, because like I said, I lean more PC now because I bought a beefier PC earlier this year. So I lean more PC. Like I asked for a key for 007 on my PC instead of my PS5. And so now I'm like, okay, like what does the PC gamer actually appreciate about these games? And I think that if you're going all digital, if you're having this sort of presence that you want to have with your own storefront, there's a lot of things like people, if they buy a game on Steam, they know I can play it for 2 hours, and if they don't like it, return it. You can't do that with PlayStation. You can do that one time in your account life history. You know, it's just so many things that a PC gamer is used to that PlayStation is not going to do. That same level of customer service, like, because now you're not competing with Xbox, you're actually competing with Steam. If you're gonna go all digital like that,
look at the robust competition on those on PC as well, in terms of the
insane.
Digital game. You've got EA's Origin or whatever they're calling it. Fucking now, you've got Good Old Games, which is what I usually throw out there. You've got Epic Game Store. You've got itch.io. There's just so many places to get. So that kind of, whereas consoles typically are closed ecosystems. That's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and Sony's being sued over that right now too, because they're arguing if you're getting rid of physical games, then you have a monopoly.
But that was already an argument, which is why they had to sell stuff in stores. They already saw that coming.
Yeah,
they already lost that lawsuit.
Yeah. Sony saw it coming. That's why they said, no, we're still going to sell games at retail, just code in a box. It's like, fuck, that's going to be the thing that gets it tossed out, and it's going to be fucking stupid because we all know they're going to yank the code in boxes off the shelf eventually. It's going to happen. They're just not going to be. They'll be there at the start of PS6, and I bet you like 2 years later there'll be none of them on
the codes in the boxes are always in Bomba bins every time I go to Walmart. That's the thing about that, man.
Well,
like they're never.
Yeah, I'll buy them then. Fuck it. You want to get me a $70 game for $5? Fuck it.
Right, but I mean, but the thing is that retailers are only going to, when things go in the Bomba bin, there's a reason they're in the Bomba bin. It's because the game, they're not doing, so that person, that store, that retailer, that manager, they bought those games for a certain price, and now they just need to get it the fuck off their shelves because it's not selling.
Yeah,
so
I mean,
look, they're not going to order more, and eventually you're just going to stop seeing them.
I mean, we've been over this before, like, Stash and also had this conversation before. Like, dude, what's happening? They're just succeeding retail to Nintendo because they don't think it matters. Meanwhile, Nintendo is building literal stores. Like, they are building retail stores to sell their own shit. Like, they're going in such the opposite direction. It's crazy. Now, I do think Nintendo will probably eventually be all digital. I do think that is a thing. It's probably going to happen someday. It's not happening this gen. It might not even happen next gen. Nintendo actually believes in retail. Go to the stores. Look at the advertising they do inside the stores at retail when major games come out. Look at the shelves. Look at how big the Nintendo section is. It's almost still as big as it's always been. Why? Because people are still going into the store to buy their games.
That's my background, Prime, is I was a merchandiser. I was actually, before I moved up into executive leadership, I was a meat merchandiser for a grocery store. And that's the thing. It's you have to, it's retail shelf space is so important. Not only is that where you're going to showcase the things that you want the customer to buy, and it's a public place where they can peruse it. That's the other problem with buying things online, is you are lost in a library of babble, man. Like, there, you don't even know what you're looking for unless the algorithm. At that point, the algorithm's controlling your purchases more than you are, because you're not able to peruse it.
You're not even aware of what's out there.
Exactly. And there's a whole concept around it. Borges, Library of Babel, amazing concept. And it's all about that fact that, hey, if there is so much choice that you are stun-locked by it, are you really making the decisions, or is an algorithm or the people that control access to that Library of Babel making the decisions on what you're doing? Very, very interesting thought process. But yeah, that's part of why people intrinsically do, like, even though we are in a world of DoorDash and we're in a world of Instacart, Amazon, I can tell you business is still booming on the storefronts, and that's because people understand that the choice and being able to peruse in person a well-merchandised shelf space matters.
Yeah. I mean, look, and retail presence also leads to more benefits to consumers. Like, you talked about, like, the discount bins. You can get in discount bins if there's nothing to discount.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, Costco isn't going to suddenly be cheaper to buy games if there's no games to buy. like seriously, I'm a Costco shopper. Yeah, they sell a lot of games day one cheaper than any other retail because it's part of the membership program. It's a perk.
They want to get you in.
And it's like yeah, they want to get you in. If there's nothing to sell, then there's nothing to discount. There's no reason to get you in. It's a wild world we're living in. And Nintendo seems to be the only one that values retail. This should be very obvious if you ever see what they're like in Japan, because Nintendo owns retail in Japan.
Yeah.
Any electronic store, like half the fucking store is Nintendo. Like, it's insane.
Well,
But
that's the other thing.
that's because also Japanese loves physical. That also helps.
So it's so sad to me. I'm working on my Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze video, and part of the footage I was able to find was footage of the Nintendo store in New York, their grand debut of Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. And just the cool things they set up for that opening. You had like the Donkey Kong guy in the suit, you had the different kiosks, and you had different games that day. And I'm not saying that every launch of a game is going to be like that store in New York, but plenty of midnight launches around, and it's part of the gaming culture and part of the entire ethos of what we do is going and being with people and having that collective experience of. I'll never forget going to my local. It was a Walmart actually that did a midnight launch for the Switch 1, and just being there. And there was only about 9 or 10 of us at that particular place. But we were there together, and it was this collective experience of us all being excited and waiting for this system to come out. And how long are we going to have that if they get their way on this, man?
At Switch 2 launch, I actually went to my local GameStop because one is closer to me, and it was the manager's birthday, and like I got a birthday card, and we all signed it, and it was just like a really cool experience. And it was a lot of us; it was probably like 40 of us in line. But that was like really cool. And as a kid, I didn't really do a lot of midnight releases. My brother didn't really take me with him. I was, 7 years younger than him. And by the time I was old enough to buy my own games, it was still kind of just like go to GameStop and get a used game with my own money. But I didn't really get to experience a lot of that. And so to be able to experience is really cool, but you're not going to get that, in person as much. So
yeah. I don't know. This whole situation's dumb. Sucks what's happening with that. It sucks, obviously, what's happening with, even people debating over this tariff shit. Obviously, people just want to be mad to be mad. I get it. Dude, I'm a consumer. I'm fucking pissed about all the increased prices on shit, too. But you know what? When it comes to entertainment goods, you didn't have to buy any of it. You want to know how I know? I've been on a game buying freeze all year. I haven't spent 1 fucking cent on video games in 2026. You know why? Because it's my money, my choice.
Yeah.
If I buy something, I don't expect a refund for it or a rebate.
Yeah. And again, get mad at the right people. Again, you're victim. I far be it for me to stand up for companies, but you are, in this case, you are victim blaming. That's what you're doing.
The irony to this is, I do remember when this news first popped up about Nintendo and the whole tariff situation, and I remember people being like, once that stuff goes down, when they win, I'm asking for money. I'm getting money. I'm gonna get my money. And it's like, what money do you think you're getting? Like, you really think that after they win, Nintendo's gonna look like Oprah and be like, everybody gets money. Everybody, we all just passing out money to everybody. Like,
look under your seat. You're rich.
Sandstorm, I'll tell you, buddy, we really do our youth a disservice by teaching financial literacy and philosophical literacy at the end of education instead of the beginning.
Yeah.
You have to, if you live in a market-based system, you have to teach people how to think, and you have to teach people how to handle and navigate financial corridors. If you can't do that, what the fuck is the use of everything else? It's like, God, man. But we put these classes all the way at like high school and college. You don't even see one of these fucking classes till high school or college.
Jeez.
The funny thing is in all of this too, and once again, I like petty Nintendo. And you can call me whatever you want to call me under the sea. But because somewhere in the article they were saying that Nintendo was like trying to alleviate some of the tariff situations, right?
Yeah.
So I'd be like, you know what? We were going to give you a $60 Star Fox. Guess what we gave it to you as? That's right, $40. But not even that. There's a section in there specifically, and I would use this as Nintendo too, from a business standpoint. You can buy games from Nintendo, Walmart, wherever for $70. Or you can go online and find that same game for a cheaper price. And I would be like, can you show us the record of where you bought this game from? Because if I'm looking over here and I see it's over at Best Buy ain't giving no deals. But
Too
if I
much.
see it over here at Best Buy and you got a discount for it, who did you pay? Because you did. You
No,
didn't.
and I get where you're coming from. That's too much work that Nintendo doesn't have to do. Nintendo's going to say, "Hey, sorry, you signed your contract adhesion upon purchase. Have a nice day. Have
Yeah.
a nice day. Learn,
Yeah.
get a fucking financial education."
I think
All
it's
right.
just. I just think it's funny that people think they're owed something.
Just to interject, whatever I got to say, Rand's got to head out, man. You want to let people know what you got going on, where they can find you?
Hell yeah.
Hi, friends. You can find me everywhere. I'm on every platform, causing shenanigans. My next biggest thing is I'm going to Pokemon Worlds / Pokemon XP. That's going to be in San Francisco, so I can't wait to do that. That's later in August. It's a great time. Gonna hop on Splatoon this weekend, as well as Marvel Tokon, because I love me some fighting games. And that game just looks beautiful.
Jumping
I
into.
hope it goes somewhere else, but it's not. It's going to be on PlayStation and PC. But whatever. hopefully it's one of those Marvel things. Like for like a year, because we're not giving you one of our best. Anyway, but you can find me everywhere: YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, everywhere. But yeah.
Cy,
All
good meeting
right.
you, man.
Good talking to you, man.
I appreciate you guys.
Yep, you have to come have a drink with me at the bar sometime, man.
Let's do it. Yeah, have a good one. Bye.
Later, man.
See ya.
All right. Anyone else want to say some stuff on this, or should we move
Yeah,
on?
I'll say one thing.
All right.
To everyone in chat who was there the first time when we talked about this a few months ago, I said it was stupid. They have zero chance of winning. And my opinion has not changed. That's all I have to say.
Okay.
Mic drop.
All right. I mean, I think there's no better way to end it than that. We're just going to skip right over to the Q&A, guys. I know that means that we probably have a bit of a shorter show today, but if you can't tell, we're missing half our co-hosts anyways. And to be frank, my son's having a hard time with his blood sugar. It keeps shooting down. So that's why I keep having to step away. So we're just going to kind of zoom through this stuff so I can make sure everything's okay. But we will pause on any of these ones that come in that do need a little bit more discussion, because it is pretty early in the show. So Steak here, popping on just for a member for 9 months. Thank you so much, Steak. And then he dropped a member chat as well with the birthday. Is it someone's birthday today in the chat, or?
It's not my birthday.
I don't know. Oh, but I see a birthday thing. I don't know what it's for. I'm assuming it must be someone's birthday. Of course, have to keep it going. Nintendo Ninja Prime Beyond says bring back NFL Blitz, NHL Health, and oh my god, I can't fucking say it. You're gonna say it every week. You know what? I didn't. We didn't have a show last week, so I'm out of practice.
We need it so bad. We need it so bad, especially after today. 2K makes the big announcement. We get the cover athlete, we get all the additions, and it's just bullshit, man, because they got the Ultra Edition and Deluxe Edition only available on PS5. That gets early access a week early. Over on Switch 2, it's just the standard edition.
Yep.
No early access, and then there's no crossplay again, which in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, this is going to be 30 frames per second again. Because that's why there's no crossplay. You can't have 30 frames on Switch 2 and 60 on PS5 and play against somebody. It's never going to work.
Right.
I'm just like, man, like it's just, we need something else for hoops.
They do
We
it on
really
purpose.
do.
Yeah.
We didn't get NBA to run on Switch 2.
They're complacent, and that sucks. And I know EA did attempt to get back into it, and it didn't work out for them. But I'm like, man, they're getting complacent. This is when someone needs to swoop in.
Yeah.
I think EA and 2K are in cahoots with each other. 100%.
Stay in my lane, you stay on your line.
Yes. What I 100% believe that there is a gentleman's handshake on this. 100%. I'd put my house on it.
Yeah. There's no way that EA would allow. Well, let me say this. There's no way that in any kind of shape or form that Madden NCAA works well, but you don't have a basketball game for college like that. It only if 2K was like, I don't want you bothering my numbers, and I'm not bothering your numbers. You stay on your lane, I stay in my lane.
Okay.
Absolutely. Hey, Steak gave a clarification. 12 months a member on Prime's channel. That's what the cake was for.
Okay.
And 9 months a member on my channel.
Oh, nice. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay. Jim's out here says Thunderstash and myself are excited for Brigadine Abyss.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm excited. Switch 2 coming out in I think it's in August. It's soon. It's heating up here, guys.
Man, my internet's even going wonky now too. Jesus Christ. Can we get the fiber to install out here, guys? Come on. There is a company bringing it out here, but they're like, oh, it might be till October. I'm like, God damn it, dude. I need to get off this fucking thing. I pay $200 a month for internet. It doesn't fucking work.
Yeah, I feel
So dumb. All right. Roger Enyer says, happy hump day to all. Let's go. All right.
Thank you.
Demonic Brawler apparently has a happy poop going on. I don't
Hey, real quick.
Jewel thing. It's a jewel thing.
What is Brigadine Abyss about? Because that one's not been on my radar.
It's a strategy RPG.
Okay.
Take a look at it. You can see right away.
Yeah.
Just in the screenshots that it's a grid-based strategy RPG.
Beautiful.
Yeah, check out the trailer, and then Noisy Pixel has a good preview on it. I don't know if you ever go to their channel on YouTube.
Yeah, I know Noisy.
I like them. They're very indie friendly. They're not too big. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Keep it real.
Yeah, well, thanks, man. Yeah, this is on my radar now.
Yeah, coming out August 26th.
Okay.
Nah, let's see if I can not butcher this time. Now we have the OG Demonic Brawler with that. Bring back NFL Blitz, NBA Jam, and NHL hits. Oh my God, I'm so sorry to the other guy. Apparently, if it's not Demonic Brawler super chatting, then I can't read it. My bad. My bad. I feel terrible that I read that perfect, but butchered it the first time.
What does it say? That's my line. That's my line.
Demonic Brawler, that's mine. You only say mine. Speaking of Demonic Brawler, he also gifted 5 memberships over on Stash's channel. And then he gifted a couple on my end as well here. Got one there.
Appreciate
and one
it,
there. We know this is like your favorite thing you watch every single week. Thank you so much. We appreciate you supporting the show. And he's not done supporting the show because you know how the way he is. Here's another fiber. So I feel like knowing how Kiwi Talks plays around with his hints that in actuality, the WTF game isn't any of those games at all. Now watch it be Horizon. That was one of our early guesses, but I'll say this. I have the screenshot. He was pretty direct. It is one of these 3 games. He didn't beat around the bush with that one.
Not a secret.
So the question is, what one of those games are a WTF to him? Like Black Myth Wukong's already rumored by Nate the Hate. So like it's easy to say that one just because of that. But we already had a whole discussion on it. You guys can go back and check that out if you want. And if you don't want to go back in this episode, check out our podcast clips channel. Eric will still be chopping this bad boy up and getting the clip up for you guys to go watch that segment if you want, where we went a little bit more in depth. Demonic Brawler says, my thoughts are the Ocarina of Time remake will most likely release on November 5th. Thursday? That must be a Thursday. Yeah,
so was that the V for Vendetta Day?
Yeah, is that V for Vendetta?
Remember the 5th of November? Also, that's the day that Dr. Emmett Brown invented time travel.
Yeah.
November 5th.
Hey, wait a second. Wait a second.
Oh
What's something more important for that day? Something a little more important on
that. Thursday. Okay. All right.
Yes, so I mean, it's possible 2 weeks before GTA. Sure. Yeah, it's possible. Yeah. Nintendo is probably not going to launch same week. So anytime before or after, they want to go before. If they're worried about getting gobbled up in the algorithm, I don't know. Maybe they won't get goggled up. I mean, we are talking about the return of the highest rated video game of all time.
Of all time.
So like that is notable regardless of GTA 6 coming out. They're like, hey, they dared to touch the highest rated game ever. You know?
I'm excited to play it. And the thing is,
but
well, I like Ocarina of Time, but I'll tell you, it's never been my favorite.
Yeah, it's on my top 10. for Zelda.
It's never
but
been my
I love
favorite.
I love it though. I loved it way more as a kid, but I love the game. It's awesome.
Zelda 1, A Link to the Past, Breath of the Wild, and of course, the GOAT, Zelda 2, baby.
In a world where we call it reality, everything is lesser than Majora's Mask. I just want to let you know.
I mean,
Majora's Mask was so interesting and inventive. I always tell people I would love to see an entire game just set in the world of Akana Valley. That entire area is so interesting, like an archaeological game or something. There was so many interesting ideas packed into that game.
Yeah, it's a great game.
The exciting thing to me is I love Majora's Mask so much that they remade Ocarina of Time, so of course they're gonna remake Majora's Mask.
Because they're gonna make it's gotta be
even if I feel like they butchered Ocarina of Time, I'm gonna be like, it don't really matter. It's Majora's Mask. That's what
Majora's Mask, right? Because that's the one anyway. So
one of the goats. It's in my top 5. It's one of my goats, man, of Zelda. All right. But that's the exciting thing is hey, I am interested in Ocarina of Time, but then it's also but also I know what that means. We know the sequel's getting the treatment. They're not going to throw away the graphics and the engine here and not do it with the one game they can reuse it on, and no one will bitch about it.
Stash, hey Stash, when are they going to give the army of 2 that is you and I our Zelda 2 remake?
Oh, Nate's in that army too.
I'm in that army
too.
Dude.
Nate's a general in that army.
It literally was my favorite Zelda game of all time until Breath of the Wild came out.
Yeah, he loves it, dude. He loves it. Like, I love it. He loves it.
It is the Zelda game I have beaten the most.
It's so much fun.
It's great. I've always stuck up for it.
I probably beat it 30 times, and I don't replay games.
That fucking last palace with the fucking
dude, that last palace is the greatest ending of a video game.
Oh, those bird knights. Oh, they're scary. They're so scary.
I love it. And I love how hard the game is.
Yes.
Bring it on. I love that. I love that. And
spam a button.
So
Simon's Quest as well. That
gets
Simon's Quest. I love it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Simon's Quest.
So my only question is, and since I've got 4 Zelda 2 fans here, it's so rare for me. That's awesome. Do we 1-for-1 remake Zelda 2, or do we clean up the Death Mountain area and the long walk to the Grand Palace, or do we say no, fuck that, 1-for-1 remake?
They would clean it up.
I think they would clean it up.
Could you imagine reviewers playing that today? Like today's modern day reviewers?
They can't even jump over the
It'd be like a 0. They won't even get past the first dungeon.
Let alone Death Mountain. They're not going to get through Death Mountain. None of them.
It will be the death of them. Literally.
They'd be like, this game is so archaic and I don't understand how it works.
Yeah, archaic is the word they'll use, I guarantee it.
I would love for it to be 1-to-1 just so I can shit all over reviewers that forgot how to play video games. Sorry,
all 4 of us, we would have to do a live stream and show them how
to tell you where to go. My bad. You actually have to explore. Do you even know what exploration is? Oh, you play all these open world games. Cool. How many of them are you just running the checkpoints?
Right.
You even know how to fucking explore in a video game? No? All right.
We don't have to show
man, dude. Every fucking tree could be something. You got to test it out. There's no hint. No one's telling you that particular tree is one you can burn down. It looks the same as the rest. You got to fucking explore, baby.
All right.
Come on.
That's the beauty of it. And getting that red candle really helped you.
Oh, the red candle.
Then you didn't have to go back a screen.
Yeah.
Pitch black screen. Yeah, that would be where the review
played the game when you got that candle, man. It changed everything.
Best is when you burn someone's house down, which is, of course, the bush that they're hiding in.
Well,
they're like, hey up, bro.
When you start to get some of the magic spells too, that game blows wide open.
Dude, the magic system is so it pisses me off that they haven't brought that back.
It's so good.
Good system. Anyways,
the whole leveling system's sick.
I love the discussion about Zelda 2. This is great.
But just like Simon's Quest. Simon's Quest had a leveling system.
Yeah,
both of those games, man. Most people didn't understand or appreciate them.
What's really funny too, guys? Think about one of the most popular genres today. It's all by From Software, all the Soulsborne stuff.
Zelda 2 was
Zelda 2 was that.
It was
literally was that. It was that before it even had a name.
Yep, it was Souls. Yeah, it was the first Souls.
Literally, Zelda had a chance to become that. Now it didn't, and honestly, it's probably better that it didn't. But holy shit, if you like Soulsborne games, you should love Zelda 2.
Well,
that's so
and
funny
that's
because they would call it a Zelda-like. It's a Zelda-like.
When Zelda went in its Zelda direction for 20 years, damn near, that's what I did. I found Dark Souls. I found Demon Souls on the. That's what I found. That became my Zelda until the return to form, the grand return to form in Breath of the Wild, man.
Yeah, Breath of the Wild brought back true exploration again. Thank fuck. None of this linear bullshit trying to tell me how to do everything.
Yeah.
Right.
Don't get me wrong. I love the Zelda games, even the linear ones, and they do tell typically better stories, and the dungeons are awesome. But it's like I call them the linear ones. I call more. You're just dungeon crawlers.
Yeah.
They're really fun dungeon crawlers.
I always
not an exploration game.
I always resented having to do chores. I'm a fucking hero. I'm here to save Hyrule. I'm not here to find your fucking cat so that the cat can give me a fish that I can take to an evil baby for some stupid shit. That fucking tutorial in what was it, Twilight Princess with the
Twilight
evil baby
Princess.
with the goat herding.
Twilight Princess, yeah, you have to catch the fish.
Oh, I'm not here for
it.
that. I'm not here to clean some lady's fucking house. I'm the fucking hero of time, man.
Nah, you're gonna wrestle a bull too because you just have to do it or you can't progress.
Right.
Like these feckless, worthless citizens of Hyrule. You deserve Ganon, man. You don't do shit for yourself.
I'm out here, but you know how badass I am as you're trying to make me catch a bull? Motherfucker, I'm about to beat Ganondorf with a fucking fishing pole. You're out here having me stop bulls with my bare hands? What's wrong with you?
As he sits there and watches me cast.
Little did you know that fishing mini games they make you do. That's how you beat Ganondorf. They're teaching you early.
Can you clean your own fucking house? Can you do that?
Nope. You got to do it. You got to be the room.
Why do I have to drop my fucking heroic quest to clean your house?
Because that's your pastime. That's your pastime.
See, someone got some pretty big gripes, especially the tutorial of Twilight Princess, which it is one of the weirdest Zelda tutorials ever, just because it makes you do so much random shit. I'm like, why are we doing any of this? So this doesn't make any sense with this.
I can't unhear because there's like 5 fucking mornings that pass in that tutorial. I can't unhear. Hey, I can't unhear that stupid motherfucker wake me up every morning for 5 more.
Or when I don't do the one quest right away with the fucking basket, and then it fucking zooms in every time I run by it. I'm like, I get it. You want me to do it? Shut the fuck up. Let me finish my other quest.
No, just every morning. Hey.
Well, I do that Twilight Princess once I'm past that part, but the tutorial is pretty brutal. One of the worst, definitely the worst in Zelda. I'll say that. I'd rather it just be like Zelda 1 and 2, just drop me in and it'll tell me shit.
And the evil Machiavellian baby is fucking creepy. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, the little evil baby is always funny to me.
Well, the weird fucking NPCs, the fucking belly shirt clown and fucking evil baby and the unibrow guy with the gigantic fucking unibrow, like the snot bubble guy.
Oh, snot bubble guy is hilarious.
Snot wad guy, like these are weird people that can't do their own shit.
Well, the Modern Brawler's coming in here with a bold prediction. Let's see what you guys think about it. I think the next 3D Mario is going to be in March.
Ooh.
Of next year? Interesting.
That's what he's saying. I mean, if that's the case, it's got to be getting revealed in September Direct, right?
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, I think I said that earlier. I don't mind it if it shows up relatively soon for next year. I'm okay with that because we still got.
I think Wind and Waves is at holiday at that point. If they're going to go Mario in March, then you're going Wind and Waves holiday.
To be honest with you, too, I mean, going off of most of the track records, most of the generational Pokemon are in the holiday anyway, aren't they?
Usually, they typically launch. I mean, there are some that they've launched early, but most of them have been holiday.
Yeah, and I think Wind and Waves has. Now, don't get me wrong. I love Mario, but I think Wind and Waves is like a much more sought after game than Mario at this point, especially with how people reacted, and that's coming off of us not knowing anything about, like, not seeing any trailers or anything like that. But I just feel the vibe for Pokemon Wind and Waves. A lot of people are like, okay, I got to buy my Switch now because I need to get that, especially before that price hike. So, yeah, I think Wind and Waves next year is the holiday title.
Oh, you gotta be, man.
Yeah, I'm going to wait and see, obviously, for what other games get announced for next year. I suspect we'll have at least one more surprise for us at the September Direct for 2027.
Yeah.
And we think about Mario because, well, it's been forever since we got one, and Nate the Hate said it would be next year. And he's been right about everything else this year. So,
I gotta say it. I gotta put my heel hat on. If you look at the screenshots with Wind and Waves, and then you look at Scarlet Violet, tell me what I'm missing, guys, because I don't see much of a difference. If you look at them directly,
I think it's going to be. So. Here's my thing with Pokemon, and it's always kind of been this way. I don't think you really understand or really realize how much of a difference there is until you actually play the game. Like I don't ever think that Pokemon has, besides going from 2D to 3D, I don't think it's ever had like this one big like, whoa, the difference between the last game and this game are ginormous. I don't think they've ever really had that. I always think it's been incremental.
And I'm not a graphics guy. Like, I don't care. I always enjoy the Pokemon games. It's just that, like, when people were saying, oh, this is the next gen thing, I didn't see it. Again, it's not something I'm going to care about. I'm going to play it anyway. But you can't unsee it once you see the screenshots direct. But you're right. There'll be other things that they focus more on, like the systems and the mechanics and nature, probably. Yeah.
Would it be crazy if we could do the GTA thing and go in every house?
No, I bitched about that on your podcast. Yeah, where are the buildings? Where did the fucking buildings?
What about the Legend of Zelda? Let's go in every house
outside like our ancestors did.
Yeah,
it is weird that Pokemon. Oh, we have this big sprawling city. You can go in like 3 buildings. I'm like, what are we doing?
We're living outside like our fucking ancestors.
Fucking city. This is my neighborhood block. There's about 2 other houses that I won't get punched if I walk into. So
we live outside with the Pokemon now.
It's in the city, man. Anyways, speaking of Pokemon, Poke91 did a member chat saying, "Please, for the love of God, drop Coliseum on NSO." I mean, that's already promised. It's just I don't know when the fuck they're gonna do it. They're slow. They're so slow with the GameCube releases. I don't know what the holdup is, to be honest. I don't know if they're just really struggling ironing out any of the emulation bugs. I don't know. But
I think it's got to do something with the emulation at this point.
It has to be. How are they having this hard of a time? They announced this before the Switch 2 even fucking came out. Like, man.
I think we get a new game in August for GameCube NSO.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
I hope so.
Especially if there's no shadow drop of a new one, you just got DLC next month. So it's a good month to have a dedicated game direct. It's also a good month then to just drop your DLCs and your NSO updates and stuff like that. Kind of give people a respite, but then in that respite, you have some sort of direct that excites you for an upcoming game.
Yeah.
You can see them dropping it in August, and then September. Are we still on board with September direct?
I don't know how they're going
to. I would say drop something on GameCube NSO in August, and then when we get our September direct,
announce a new wave of them.
We'll get some more stuff for NSO.
I like that.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah. The Polito Dojo here did a member chat. 34 months. Thank you so much. So I'm struggling on waiting for the new Lego Batman for Switch 2. I really want to play it through it before Zelda Ocarina of Time remake comes out. Also, Palworld is so much like Ark Survival Evolved than Pokemon. You're correct on Palworld. It is literally almost a carbon copy of Ark Survival Evolved. Even some of the menus, no one really cares or points it out because they're actually ripping off that game, not Pokemon. But they just replaced the dinosaurs with Pokemon. It's fine. I don't think there's anything wrong with doing that. It's whatever. But that's what it is. And people love it. And that's cool. I'm glad you guys enjoy it. People also love Ark Survival Evolved. It's got 30 million people that bought that game. So, yeah, the survival genre is a pretty strong genre. That being said, Lego Batman, that not being day and date sucked. We know it's coming out. I think it has a release date, right?
It's the 18th of September. So we're less than 2 months away.
Yeah. So it's coming. You should have time to beat it before Zelda comes out, if Zelda's in November. But it does suck. It is coming out during a packed month. And it is, if you're also picking up Fire Emblem, that could get in the way because that's going to be like the day before. And that might take up, Fire Emblem games usually take up a decent chunk of time, especially the newer ones with all the social aspects. So you could easily sink 100+ hours into Fire Emblem. And if it's anything like Three Houses, where like there's actually different story arcs when you replay it and go different ways, then that just adds even more infinite replayability. So, yeah. So I mean, if that's not a concern for you, then yeah, get Lego Batman. I mean, it's on my to buy list for Switch too. I guess I know I'm on a game buying freeze, but I got a giant list. I'll probably reveal it towards the end of the year once I finally get off of the game buying freeze.
Right.
Might be a fun conversation on the podcast. Even help me sort out my priority, because I obviously can't buy and play them all at once. That's insane.
Back.
And obviously there's always new exciting games coming up. So like I got to find out when am I going to fit these ones in. But that might be a fun little conversation as we go into 2027. And all right, let's break down these games.
That'd be fun.
If Fortune's Weave is half as much content as Three Houses, Three Houses might be the best bang for your buck that I've seen.
So there's so much content in that game.
It's really 3 full games in one, damn near. Not quite, but close enough, man.
Yeah, and like there's like rumors that this is going to be like that, but now there's going to be 4 full. Like, dude, that's insane. But hey, if they pull it off, I'm not going to complain, man. Dude, Fire Emblem rocks, dude. They've been kicking. Even Engage, I know some people that weren't into Engage, but that's because Engage was more like the old school Fire Emblem. There was a testing the water to see like, hey, do we have any people that are like super big fans of like the old school Fire Emblem before we went with all the social stuff? And the answer was no, you need to stick with the social stuff. They should have figured that out after Awakening saved the franchise because they added social stuff to it.
Are we worried that the progress on Fire Emblem's ascension into a fairly large franchise for Nintendo might have the legs cut out from under it with the higher pricing? It's still relative. I mean, it's bigger than a lot of games, but it's still relatively niche compared to some of your bigger titles. I just hate to see it get impacted by that, man.
If I was gonna be honest, I'm going to say no.
Because I'm buying it day one, but I worry.
But the reason why I say no is because we're not at the point of conditioning for Fire Emblem. I'm gonna be honest with you. We're not at the point of conditioning. And what I mean by that is Fire Emblem games before they hit the Switch always had 3 pieces to that puzzle. You had to play 3 different ways. And so like to get the full ending, just kind of like how you do now. And correct me if I'm wrong, but they came in different games. They came in different boxes. So you had to buy them 3 times over. Now you can get them as a collection as a whole, all 3 of them together, or you could just buy them individually.
See, because you're going to laugh. My experience with Fire Emblem is a reproduction of Genealogy of the Holy War for Super Nintendo and Three Houses and Engage. That's my Fire Emblem experience, but I love Three Houses to death. I'm going to love Fortune's Weave, I can promise you. If any game is worth $80, I can tell you guys it's Fire Emblem. It's there. The content is more than there. I just worry about scaring off some.
Oh, bro, I appreciate that. He said it was Just Fates. So, and I think that was the game, correct me if I'm wrong again, that was the game that was right before they decided to move everything over to from having a DS or having the handheld team and having the console team, and they put that under one house. So yeah, I mean, you're getting 3 different games. You're getting 3 different endings to a game, and most people would be like, well, that should just come with the game. But Fire Emblem has already had that track record of having different ones for that, and I think it's worth it. Like you said, I think having, and those games aren't short. I think that's the other thing that people forget. Like these are not like, it's not like Star Fox where you're about to play, 2, 3, 4 hours and get these 3 endings and you're gonna beat it in a day. It's absolutely not that. Like you're playing a full-fledged
40
RPG,
hours for 4 campaigns. Yeah,
for each of those campaigns. So it's I think it's worth it, and I don't think it'll really be affected because to be honest with you, I haven't heard once an actual Fire Emblem fan be like, nah, that ain't worth it. That ain't the price.
Yeah, because again, we know the value is there. We know it's worth it. It's this. If any game is worth it, it's this game.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's good to hear.
All right. Devout Brawler says, I wish Pokemon would stop trying to be so cute with their new mons and go back to making them badass.
One day.
Yeah.
I didn't like the Go-Gurt mascot, the gold Go-Gurt fucking stupid looking dumb shit guy that is a fucking menace and competitive. But I don't know. The Excalibur was pretty fucking sweet, wasn't he? I mean, I think they had some pretty good ones.
Oh, the dragons. Yeah, I think. I mean, I like the way they handle bringing back some of the starters and stuff like that. I always think they have like really cool looks to them. Shout outs to my boy Typhlosion for being a ghost / fire type, and Arceus. I thought that was dope, but yeah,
Arceus was so good, man.
I feel you though. They could add a couple more, like rougher Pokemon. Machoke was a champ back in his day.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, real quick, because Phil, stop it, Phil. Okay, he says, I really don't think any game is worth $80. Chrono Trigger was absolutely worth $80. Final Fantasy VI was worth $80. I'm not saying it's good to pay that. Pay less if you can, but these games there are absolutely games worth $80. Now, I see your point when you say Baldur's Gate 3 was $60. That's great. I'm so glad that happened. And that game was such an anomaly and an amazing one at that. But disagree. There are absolutely games that are worth $80, $90, $100.
Also, if Baldur's Gate 3 was 80, I would have paid it.
I would have paid $100 for Baldur's Gate 3.
Yeah,
don't give them any ideas, but
fucking phenomenal. I love Baldur's Gate. I loved it before. I mean, that game obviously made it even more popular. But I loved the 1 and 2 as well. Like Jesus
but
Christ.
I'm glad it was 60. Yeah, but they could have charged more.
Cheaper prices are always good. All right, Jorge here said, I truly don't believe one can really challenge Pokemon without challenging their multimedia empire. I'm assuming this has to do with Pal World. Games are good, but what about merch, anime, films, TCGs? All of that is a whole new beast.
It will never, nothing will ever.
I'll just say this. Pal World is also working on an anime and also working on a TCG. I just want to throw that out there. They actually are kind of trying to copy the Pokemon route. Will it ever be as successful? That remains to be seen. I have no idea. That's a future projection. That look, they charge less for their game than Pokemon charges. That helps get more copies out there. But here's the thing. When I say it's a carbon copy of Ark Survival Evolved, go play Ark Survival Evolved, then play Pal World. It's a carbon copy. Where do they go from here? Yeah. Pal World 2 can't just be the same thing. It's not going to hit as hard. So, that's the thing. I don't know where the future progression is from here because the Ark Survival Evolved style of survival game hasn't really evolved.
Well, and also, anytime you deal with a market, especially an established market, and this is a red ocean that, like, for example, I think Power World's different enough from Pokemon to where it's not a problem.
Very different.
Even if they wanted to go after Pokemon, you are entering the reddest ocean of any red ocean, man. You've got to compete with the largest anything. Yeah. That's what Pokemon is.
Largest multimedia brand in the world.
Period. It's bigger than everything. I think it's even bigger than Garfield, terrifying as he is. Like, there's nothing that competes with Pokemon. So, I'm not saying it's impossible. Nothing is impossible, but I would.
The chances are slim.
Man.
Yeah.
As I said, they're going to try to copy the Pokemon. I don't blame them because look what Pokemon became. Try. Good luck. I hope it works out. I'm not saying I don't want them to be successful. It's just it is interesting because Pokemon is the number one media brand in the world. Everyone always focuses about, this game has sold more than almost every Pokemon game but Gen 1. I'm like, okay, cool, but Pokemon isn't just a video game.
Yeah.
Right.
It's a multimedia behemoth, and in comparison to that, no, it's not close. But can it get there? Can they sustain momentum? Can they release a Power World? I mean, look, they have a spinoff coming out. A more casual style thing. Is that one going to blow up? I'm very curious because, look, it seems to be it's not a Pokemon game. If you guys play the games, it's not Pokemon, but I get it. It still has monster catching, so I guess you want to call it a monster catching game. Fine. It's really popular on PC. That's where it's really taken off. Is on PC.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think that will go away because there is no real Pokemon-esque alternative for them on PC. So I do think it can maintain some momentum. It's going to be about what they do moving forward. Like when they make the anime, do people actually want to watch it and is it any good?
Yeah.
When they drop the TCG, look, a lot of things have tried to compete with Pokemon TCG and can't do it. is this really going to be the thing that does it? Just because now you're going to have cards that have monsters on them that look like Pokemon? I don't know. We'll see. But I wish them luck. I don't want them to fail. At Pocket Pair, I don't want you guys to fail. I do think Nintendo's lawsuit against you is completely frivolous, and they shouldn't be in it. Nor TPC. I think it's more being pushed by TPC anyways, but I don't think they have a case. I think they're learning the hard way. They don't have a case as all of their patents keep getting thrown out now and getting invalidated because it turns out you can't just make up patents in the middle of a lawsuit and claim you own things. I don't know what they were thinking. It's a stupid lawsuit, but the point is, that Pal World's already a success. Like if we were just talking just straight up, it's a success already. Yes. Right? It made them an estimated of almost $1 billion. Like it's been very successful for them. So I'm really happy for them. The question is, can they turn it into Pokemon and be a mega multimedia empire?
Mm-hmm.
Look, just because it hasn't really been done since Pokemon doesn't mean it can't be done again. So we'll see. I wish you luck. Right now you're the hot thing. Let's see if you take advantage of it.
Right.
Because that's the key with Nintendo. This is the big thing that people, when they bitch about Nintendo just relies on the same IPs. One, that's not true because they keep making new ones. However, what you're not giving credit for is they're able to keep their IPs relevant for 40 years. You know how hard that is?
Well, and whether you want to hear it or not, part of that keeping that relevancy is lawsuits, actually. And I don't like this lawsuit either. This lawsuit was fucking stupid. But the reason they did that, and people need to remember this when they analyze Nintendo set the standard with Nintendo v. Universal. They set the standard for this. Their winning argument was that because they didn't use King Kong and they didn't protect King Kong when other people used King Kong, and because they had no interest in King Kong whatsoever until Donkey Kong took off, that they essentially abandoned their rights to any likeness of that. And they won. And because Nintendo was pivotal in that precedent, that explains, if you look at it through that lens, guys, that explains a ton of how protective Nintendo is over their IPs, even when it looks fucking ridiculous to us. Because here's the thing, even if they lose, they can still point to that in the future and say, look at that, even though it was frivolous and it was thrown out, we are on record as defending our IP, even with a frivolous lawsuit.
Yeah.
We're on record as doing that. You can't touch Pokemon when something real comes after it.
Yeah, it's one of those things that Nintendo knows what they're doing.
Not excusing it, just explaining.
No, we don't like it. Like no one likes
explaining the lens for which Nintendo views the world that they helped build in this case.
But yeah, Nintendo is very protective of their IP, and like they have a reason to be because they witnessed what happens if you're not being protective enough.
They created that precedent. They literally created the precedent for what happens if you're not protected.
Yeah. So Nintendo's very protective of their IPs, and in addition, they've been able to keep them relevant by continuing to make evolutions and great games. Look, Breath of the Wild, fundamentally different than pretty much any game since Zelda 2. Awesome. You look at the way they've evolved a lot of their IPs, even Splatoon now. Okay, we've always been this multiplayer thing. What happens if we try going all in on single player and PvE and just go in that direction? Now we're finding that with Splatoon Raiders. Like they keep trying these new things and evolving things to keep franchises relevant. And it doesn't always work, right? Metroid Prime 4, right? Doesn't always work.
Yeah, God.
But when it does, it's magic.
Well,
they should be applauded for being able to keep it relevant because it is hard to keep IPs relevant for as long as Nintendo does.
Yeah.
Well, and all this shit about Power World being derivative or like Genshin Impact being derivative or whatnot. So here's the thing about Nintendo has always been an innovator. They've always been a disruptive innovator. And there have always been birdmen who glue feathers to their arms and flap their arms really hard and try to fly versus Nintendo, the actual bird that can fly. There's always been that. Look at Mario. Look at 2D Mario. Without the cornerstone on the pyramid of gaming that 2D Mario was, you wouldn't get Mega Man. You wouldn't get Castlevania. All of these go to the left platformers or go to the right platformers. All of these games showed up in part because of the massive success of Super Mario Brothers. Genshin Impact, yes, it showed up because of the massive success of Breath of the Wild. But these are good things because that's more games like the games that Mario Brothers sold 40 million copies. So now you've got more games that are like the game you just loved and bought for that system. It's a good thing. It's nothing but good, guys.
All right. Demonic Brawler says Switch 2 Lite at 400 or 500 with both wind and waves. That would be sick if they had a 500 one with wind and waves. That's an insane value.
Yeah, that would be great.
There's no because of that. There's no way they do it, but
right.
That would be nice though.
It'll be your Switch 2 Lite themed for Pokemon, but for a $50 premium without a game. Then it'll be $80 a piece or $150 if you want both. Like, okay, I'm hoping Pokemon doesn't go to $80 a piece. It's just look, they're already at $70 with Legends, so you never know. But I just throw it out there. There's no way. There's no way they're doing a bundle with both for $500. It's just not going to happen.
That'd make some serious waves if it did.
Oh, it would be, dude. It would be a very hot. Dude, in this economy, dude, it'd be flying. Even if people don't even like Pokemon, they'll just buy it on principle.
Yep.
It's like, dude, what a hell of a deal when everyone else is charging $1,000. Dude, they're charged $500 to give me 2 games. Okay, dude, it's one game, just a slightly alternate. It's not that different. I mean, some of them had some differences, but like, okay, it really wasn't that crazy different. I'm just being honest. And I know some stands, I get it. The hardcore faithful will always be like, oh no, I get it. I say the same shit with Zelda. I get it. I know. You guys notice and pay attention to all the mundane little details that you have different color this and different teachers and different. I get it. But as like a casual player, there really is no difference to me.
That's fair.
But that's because I'm casual. But the hardcore are always going to know. Like, they're going to be super into that. Different story. I totally get that. I understand because I'm that way with other games that don't really have, if you think, like, I buy Madden every year. Just should be realistic here, all right? Don't listen to anything I have to say. The fact that I buy Madden.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with playing Madden. Madden, I want so bad to have a physical game for Switch like Madden. But it's a fucking game key card.
Yeah. Yeah, I just don't care about it with sports games because they're annualized, so the physical aspect is just so irrelevant to me. Although I will say, I say that, I'm so happy I still have a physical copy of 2K5, NFL 2K5, baby.
Oh, nice.
I still have that because that game, dude, it's still today like the best fucking NFL game ever made.
NCAA 2003 or 2005, I forget which one. Oh, it was so good.
03.
Yeah,
3. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. 03, I think, was the real. I mean, 5 was fine, but 03 was.
Dude, me and my dad played the fuck out of 03.
Oh yeah. So we got Resist NWO saying, Stash, your OLED prediction guarantee. Is it like Mario Kart DLC? He's comparing
what, that we're gonna get Mario Kart DLC? Yeah.
I mean, of course we're gonna get Mario Kart DLC. That's
guarantee it.
Dumb. Like, they'd just be pissing away money if they didn't do it.
Right.
Yeah, folks. That means they're not going to give you the DLC for free. I just don't. That was just an unrealistic expectation. I get it. I get it. They're not giving you the shit for free. It's not Splatoon. Splatoon, they give you for free. They've set that expectation, but they still have expansion passes. So, Wing to Man says, do you think we're going to switch to OLED or a switch to Pro? So, do we think it'll be also beefed up in specs?
No. That's no. So here's the thing. I don't think people really realize this, but they made that system to be as jack of all tradesy as possible. The moment you start messing with one thing, there's going to be a problem with something else. People already complain about how my Switch 2 isn't getting enough battery power. But you want increased power on it, and then that's costing more money overall, or you're getting less battery out of it. So no, I don't think a pro thing is real for Nintendo. I think it's just an OLED. I think you get an OLED screen, and then maybe we talk about some of more ergonomic things for that system, whether it's a better battery life or they crank up the hardware inside of it, because at that point they'll probably have new versions of the same hardware. kind of like how they did with the original Switch. But I don't see a world where they're like, hey, let's do the same thing that PlayStation did and take these chips and overclock this chip so that it reaches this number, and take this and let's take the latest version of whatever NVIDIA is working with and make something more unique just to us. And I'm talking about PSSR. I don't see it. There's just way too many, especially with Nintendo. If it don't make money, it ain't making sense. So I think
here's what I think will happen. Okay. It'll have an OLED screen. That's a given. I'm not worried about that part. That's going to be there. There's a chance that it could be like a Pro, but that chance would be that they shrunk the die and it's just the exact same chip. They're just able to run it at higher clocks, and that's your more powerful system.
You fucking guys just gotta switch to.
That's it.
You just gotta switch to, guys.
I know people, but it's because of the news, right? The news broke. That's what happens. Just like, you remember before Switch 2 came out and there was a report from Intel about Switch 3 already? And we're like, what the fuck are we doing, man? Switch 2 wasn't even out yet. What the fuck are we doing?
Well, yeah, I mean, I remember this because, of course, I made the meme. I remember this.
Yep, I remember I made a video and I was like, oh, of course, Prime's talking. Oh, what the fuck you want me to do? It's the news.
I hate the troll. Those were the days. I used to troll the shit out of you. I even had a meme of you shrugging, saying, better luck next year. Switch to better luck next year.
I'm just covering the fucking news. Don't shoot the fucking messenger.
For 3 years,
Anyways.
But anyway, I mean, guys, you just got to switch to, like, this is why the hardcore must be destroyed, by the way. This is why. Because they are pushing, we're Wile E. Coyote and we're off the fucking cliff, guys. We haven't looked down.
Yeah, that's so funny you say that. I think that needs to be a slogan. What did you say? The hardcore needs to be.
Hardcore must be destroyed. So
yeah,
the reason I say that, I think it was Cato. It might have been. I think it was Cato who, at the end of every speech during the Roman War with Carthage, he would end every speech. It didn't matter what the fuck was going on. It could be a plumbing issue. It could be a taxation issue. He would always end every speech by saying, "That is why Carthage must be destroyed." So I am saying the hardcore gamer, the idea of the hardcore gamer, tech freaks that are never fucking happy and are pushing gaming off a fucking technological cliff, overshooting the market, the hardcore must be destroyed. And this is why.
I agree with it.
Thank you.
Although I will say this, if you're like a hardcore man, you should have like a $10,000 gaming PC. That's where you should be at.
Yeah,
that's where you should.
Leave you the fuck alone, man. You're just flaunting your money and playing your shit. No one's gonna care because everyone knows they ain't touching your 10,000 rig. We don't give a shit.
Right.
You know how unrealistic that is for pretty much everybody else.
and enjoy
$1,000 computer right now, let alone a $10,000 one. Fuck, enjoy, man. Have fun.
And enjoy your Switch 2 emulator.
Enjoy that half that fucking budget went to a graphics card.
All right.
Seriously, 5090 is like fucking $5 or $6 grand right now. It's so stupid.
That's dumb.
Okay. Demonic Brawler says reversible cover art for game key card box, problem solved. You know, I will say this about the reversible, like, dude, we're seeing a lot of really cool reversible arts on Switch too. Why couldn't the inside plastic be clear?
Thank you.
Oh yeah.
Thank you.
There's no benefit to it. I get making the outside red, make it stand out from Switch 1 cases,
right?
But the inside could still be clear. There's no real reason they had to keep that red.
It's muddy. You can't see the fucking inlay art.
Yeah, it's money. It's money. I know that it's how they casted the cases so they don't have to, like, you know, double cast it and have like a clear side and a red side. But I'm like, I get it for manufacturing purposes, but also, come on, man.
So right there.
Start your downloads, people.
Nintendo, you yourselves are using reversible cover art. Like, come on.
So speaking of hardcore gamer freaks, am I the only one who buys the Switch 2 game and then takes the inlay art out and puts it in a Switch 1 clear case and then puts my cart in the clear Switch 1 box?
You're probably not the only one.
Am I the only one? I can't be. I also buy fucking Switch manuals for my Switch and Switch 2 games. that are homemade manuals.
Dude, no, there's like a market for this. It's like legit. You could get manuals for all the modern games. It's
Yes.
actually kind of neat, to be honest.
Super cool.
Yeah.
Very nice. Yeah.
It's,
You know, a
it's-
lot of the
it's-
key cards have reversible covers, guys.
Yeah, and it's like vinyl, right? Like it's still around. It's niche. Same thing with what Zoo's buying over there, man.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's niche, but you can still get them. That's what's really cool. Yeah, they're unofficial, of course, guys, but it's not the point. It's about the nostalgia, and it just feels right.
And it feels.
It feels right. It does. It's like when you crack a game open, you get that new chemical smell. Hey, man, I don't know. Just something about that feels right.
Oh, like it's so fresh. Nobody ever touched it.
Yeah, dude. You open it up like, oh, this smells so great. You're like, okay, I know I just breathed a bunch of shit that can kill me, but fuck, man, that was a great scent.
It still smells awesome.
It just hits. It just hits. No, dude, it's because I've been doing it, guys. I've been doing this since I was a kid, whether it was the plastic boxes or it was the cardboard ones, always the new game smell. So every time I crack a game and do it, it's basically 40 years of gaming history hitting my brain at once. And it's fucking awesome. People shit on nostalgia. I don't know why. It is a positive emotion. Fuck yeah, nostalgia, dude. I'll be sniffing fucking.
Thank you, Brian.
The whole reason I want physical games to stay around is so when I'm 80, I'm fucking sniffing a new package, baby.
So there's a content creator, love him to death, great friend, Eye Patch Wolf. His name is Super Eye Patch Wolf, and he has been on a kick for a long time about how you've got to move forward. You know, nostalgia should be met with caution. Got to let the past die. It's like, nah, fuck that, man. We argue all the time about it. Fuck that.
Yeah, let positive emotions leave your body so you can be miserable. Have a good day.
Right.
I'm not saying that, but that's a great counter, and I'm going to use that now.
Sorry, I have a positive emotion. My bad. Can't be happy around you, I guess. No fun, police. I mean, it is. It's literally, if you look up the definition of nostalgia, guys, there's nothing negative about it. It's all positive. But the internet turns it into a negative because you can't be happy because you think your modern game's better. Okay, who cares?
So what to give you context on this, we were arguing about The Simpsons because he put out a video called The Simpsons is Good Again.
Oh, okay. Yep.
And his whole premise is that by anchoring to what The Simpsons was and trying to constantly recreate that in order to be nostalgic, essentially what you're doing is you are robbing the ability to turn The Simpsons into what it could be now. And so he kind of coined this is toxic nostalgia that has anchored The Simpsons into zombie Simpsons.
Sure.
Just to give full context. So I
get it.
No nostalgia, but I will always side with nostalgia. Nostalgia is great. It feels great.
Dude, it's such a positive feeling. Like, oh, it's holding things back. I'm like, okay, I'm sorry that you're unhappy. You're just telling me you're unhappy. That's all you're telling me. I'm happy. I'm not going to apologize for being happy about something you're not happy about.
Amen.
You know, when Tears of the Kingdom came out and people were all like, we need a new Hyrule. I'm like, dude, it's my favorite fucking game of all time. I don't give a fuck if you ain't happy. I'm happy.
Not only that, but you can point to a game like Breath of the Wild and say, actually, it's more Zelda than the last fucking 5 Zelda games. Shut up.
Yeah, well, you don't want to do that argument. Then Zelda, I'm like, yeah, shut the fuck up, man. I've been there since day one. Dude, I was fucking born when Zelda came out. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Okay. I ran fan sites. I've been doing this shit for 35 fucking years, man.
I'm sorry that you've only played Enuma Zelda. No. I'm sorry about that.
No, I like Enuma Zeldas. I do. But hey, that's not the way the series once was.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Like, there are other types of Zelda that you're just not allowing yourself to fully enjoy because you like a certain type. Anyway, that's fine.
Zelda sells okay. Zelda sells 4 to 6 million copies every time it comes out. We can have both.
I mean, Twilight Princess was the highest selling Zelda before Breath of the Wild.
Well, not to count for pop growth. It's original Zelda.
Wow. Yeah. I know. Yeah. There's depends how you want to crunch all the numbers.
Zelda.
But it was, it's really successful. And like, I like Enuma Zeldas. Dude, they're some of my favorites. Majora's Mask. Again, that's all basically. I don't know. Actually, it's 2 guys. You make sure we give credit. There's 2 people. 2 men. Second guy never gets as much credit as he should get. But
no, and then there's the guy. Who's the other guy that did Link's Awakening? It's like its own fucking thing, and he also did Majora's Mask. A lot of it. So there's Enuma Zelda. There's Miyamoto Zelda.
The guy who did Link's Awakening, did he go on to run Mario?
Yeah, there's that weird guy Zelda that I fucking love.
I kept forgetting names. It's gonna make me mad when I look it up. I'm like, oh yeah, I knew all this because I used to fucking talk about all this stuff. I don't talk about it that much anymore. Okay, let's get on to our next super chat here. Demonic Brawler with the big one there. Says the biggest issue isn't even not having physical option. It's that Sony is known for not renewing licenses and taking away access to the player's digital products. Also, several gamers have often had their accounts hacked. There's been there's a lot of truth to this. We've all followed the reports of that. We see that people get their account hacked and they can't even get it back, even though they've provided all the evidence. A lot of the digital goods, guys, that people talk about removing have to do with like music and movies, because Sony loses the rights and then they have to remove it. I think that I'm going to be completely honest because some of that isn't like Sony's fault because they just have to do it legally. I think for that part, and this is the part, guys, the all digital future, we all know it's coming. We all, for many people, it's already here. One thing you should be focusing on if you know you're not really trying to advocate to save physical, because I get it, it's a losing fight. It is going to go away entirely one day. We all are aware of it. We're just trying to delay it for as long as possible.
Let's not demoralize.
Yeah, we're trying to delay for as long as Nintendo keeps it going. We at least are pushing it back another gen. We push it back another gen, at least for one system. But what I will say is you should also start fighting more for your digital rights. Yes, so you should get the laws changed. So if you've already purchased a license to watch a movie or show, even if the place you bought it from loses the rights, you don't lose your right to that. And you get to keep that in your library. That just needs to be a law change. The laws right now dictate Sony has to remove it. The law has to change. Yes, Sony can stop selling it and stop listing it on their store. Absolutely. You could, you know, we're not saying that they have rights to other people's movies. They can yank the rights. But if someone completed a legal purchase of a license for that movie, they should get to keep that regardless of the fact it got yanked from the store. Yeah. But that requires the laws to change. A lot of the stuff we get mad at Sony about, I got to be very clear about this. They don't have a choice. They have to remove it.
Yeah, you're right.
We need laws to change, and that's this is just one example. You can apply this to games as well. You know, games get delisted, but hey, you bought a license key, you should get to keep that license key. Right. Again, the digital right laws need to change, and I think people are so focused on the wrong way that they're like, yeah, but let's work on the digital rights. There's been an issue with this for a while that's only going to be exacerbated once there's no physical. So we got to work towards that, which means you got to start paying attention. To a lot of stuff going on out there, because there are people trying to fight for it, but it's just not getting enough attention to actually make it happen. Yeah.
And if anybody has ever played Rock Band or plays Rock Band still, it's one of my favorite games of all time. It's happening right now with Rock Band. Rock Band is having to delist it. So they literally took Rock Band 4. They're done with it. They're taking it off store shelves because they're not going to sell any more of that because of the rights to the music are starting to expire. They are also week by week, starting with the oldest songs, going to the newest songs, mass delisting all of the available DLC for Rock Band. Oh, wow. So I had to literally rush because one of my mom, she wanted Rock Band for her birthday, when we bring it out. And I just so happened to see that news. I've literally had to download all the songs I wanted just to secure it. That way we could have our karaoke and shit. So ridiculous. It's happening all over the place.
Yeah. And again, guys, all it takes is the laws to change. So if we've completed a purchase, they can't take it from us just because their store can't carry it anymore. Right. It's a very simple law change, but no one's really ever pushed for it. Stop Killing Games is attempting to get some stuff changed, but they're not getting that. That isn't getting changed. And like we did that really literally. Like, I get it, dude. It's shitty, and Sony gets negative. But I'm not a console warrior. I'm not going to blame Sony for something that they don't have control of.
Yeah.
Now, if the law changes and then they still do it, okay, then they're just being shitty, and they're probably going to get sued. But right now, they're just following the law. They lose the rights. They have to delete it from your library, and that sucks. So there's a lot of reasons to be negative towards these companies, but I got to defend Sony on that one point because they literally don't have a choice. And that sucks. It sucks, you know. And even if they had a choice, you know, and it was just left to them for a choice, you know, they probably would choose just to remove it. I mean, this is the company that lied about physical games. Sorry, I have such a hard. My problem isn't that they're going all digital. I knew they were going to go all digital with PS6, right? I've known this for a while. Like, yeah, they're going all digital. The moment that PS5 launched with an all digital option, I'm like, okay, PS6 is just going to be all digital. I knew that 5 years ago. It's how they deliver the news, the lies they're telling about it, and the way they're basically blaming the consumer. And then that report comes out from Jason Schreier about how Sony really feels about fans. And it's like, yeah, okay. Yeah. Dude, Sony, fuck off. But then also, I'm not going to blame you for something that's not your fault. So it's like, I can be mad at them, but also be like, yeah, but okay. Just like with Nintendo, if I get mad at them, not everything's necessarily their fault.
Yeah. Proper consumer advocacy requires us
to know what you're talking about
and have good foresight. Here's the thing, guys. Things are bad enough. You don't have to fucking lie.
Yeah.
It's bad enough lying.
MLB Slugfest? Hell yeah, dude. I wouldn't mind Slugfest coming back. Shit's good. Wink the Man says, do you think Ocarina of Time Remake will be non-linear, allowing us to visit Jabu Jabu or the Dongo's Cavern first?
I don't. I think you will be able to get so far, but like Lord Jabu Jabu, for example, because I've asked this on multiple podcasts. But I think one of the smart ways to do Lord Jabu Jabu so that you can't do that is by just throwing him under the water. Like, so there's that area, behind Zora's domain where you find him and you meet him. If I'm not, I haven't played that area in so long.
It's been years, man.
But I feel like he's there already. And he's sitting there, but you can't go inside him, until you get the fish. So I think to kind of alleviate that whole section, I think it's going to be one of those, this is the loading screen of him coming out of the water and you go inside his mouth type of deal, and it runs that way. I just really see it being really hard to try and have a whole dungeon inside of a whale unless the whale is like ginormous, because that dungeon to Jabu Jabu's body is not is as far away from 1-to-1 as possible.
So the only thing that I have to have from Ocarina of Time Remake on this is that fucking fat ass King Zora guy.
King Zora, yeah.
To spend 30 seconds fucking shipping this fat ass.
Better not change that.
Classic.
They better leave that shit fucking in.
He had his little stutter step and yes.
Yeah.
It has to say.
Classic. I want to see a modern gamer's frustration at it who's never experienced it. Also, you better do some fuckery with Gabora. I want to see new players who have never played it. I want to see them get so fucking pissed they keep repeating it.
Yeah. Did you understand everything I said? Yes. Or no? No, I don't want you to repeat it. Okay, I'm gonna repeat it again.
They put the answer the opposite way of the rest of the game. It's the opposite. You keep spamming through it, and you just repeat. It's like, whoever came up with that, by the way, at Nintendo, you are a troll, and I fucking love it. All you had to do is reverse the answers, and you fucked with everyone.
Like, why does it keep saying the same thing over and over again? Oh, okay. I pressed it. Dang it, I pressed it again.
Did you get all that? No is the default answer. No.
They knew you were skipping through it, man.
Oh yeah, they knew you're spamming. They're like, "Oh, we're gonna fuck with them." I'm like, "God damn it!" I can't wait to see a modern gamer who's never played it run into it and just be like, "What the fuck?" I'm like,
"This is so dumb."
Nintendo knows how to troll too, motherfuckers.
Same speed, same cadence, everything.
Just super fucking slow.
I'm tired of this game. It's archaic. I don't like the way that it's written out. Well, I guess, you know what? Now that we talk, real quick, Prime, now that you say that, it possibly won't even be a thing if we're expecting voice acting. So.
Well, it still could be a thing. It's just voice acted, which makes it even more annoying.
Oh,
guess I'm going to say it again.
Yeah, I was going to say, repeat that voice line on repeat over and over. It just makes it worse. So I think, yeah, it totally works in voice acting. Obviously, guys, we don't know if they're going to do voice acting, but I mean, they're acting like this was like based on how they revealed it, just the tease. They're acting like, hey, we put some fucking serious dough into this game. All right, well,
yeah.
I expect voice acting then if you did that. I mean, you already set that standard with the 2 prior Zelda games, so
right.
Prime has so much fun with Zoo. Dude, me and Zoo can shoot the shit all the time. That's the way it is, man.
Oh, but yeah, if
there's so much shit. If we had the fucking time, we could be shooting the shit for days, man. All right. Next up here, we got one more after this. Monterey says, LMO, imagine Link as sarcastic with Zoo's voice.
So Link would be kicked out of the fucking village. Link would be banished.
To be fair, man, it'd probably make it a better game.
Yeah, I'm not doing. It's like, hey, I need you to go fetch my slippers so I can give them to my husband so he can give you a fishing pole so you can catch a fish. No, just no. I'm a fucking hero. I don't have time for this shit. No.
All right. Our last one, Modern Brawler says, I want a t-shirt that says, I'm the effing hero of time. All right, man. I'll hire someone. We'll get it on the merch shop. All right, man. We need something custom and unique so Nintendo doesn't get mad at us. Well, okay, we'll figure it out. It out.
It looks like Link, but it's pretending not to look like Link.
All right. Well, that was our last one we had of the super chats and stuff. So thank you guys so much. We'll go around the room, let people know what we got going on and where they can find us. Obviously, shout out to Saluran. Link down below if you want to go check out his content. He makes some really good stuff. And he goes to a lot of like cons and stuff too. So like if you like to travel and go to all those different conferences, sometimes you might run into him. That's actually how I ran into him multiple times at different ones. So he loves going to that stuff. Let's get to Sandstorm, man. What do you got going on? Where can they find you?
Oh man, you can find me on Instagram. You can find me on Twitter, YouTube channel at Sandstorm Show Rebirth. We just got back into the swing of things. Shout out too, because I haven't made this official via Twitter. But shout outs to Vigilante. He's the 6th person in our mega group of the Sandstorm Show. So shout outs to him. You'll see him in a lot more rotations. I did want to do this real quick shout out because you got a bigger channel, Prime. So pardon me, but while I was down in Houston, we went to DreamCon and I got the opportunity to play 2 very unique games. One game is known as Ninja Man Here. Yes, I will keep the QR code. So if you want to bring up your phone, check this out.
Let me full screen you. Here you go.
Oh, thank you. This is an absolute hilarious game. Okay. You play as a ninja with the gold chain. You out here slapping other ninjas around with your gold chain, and and you show the ladies some love to get them in the club. That's what I was told. So definitely check out the Instagram. They do not have a demo yet. It is still in the GoFundMe stage, but definitely a really fun game. Now this game does have a demo to it. This game is known as Yasuke. It is by Deliance Studios. They are all over the world. But this has a demo on Steam. Definitely check it out. It's an over-the-top action game. You play it as a descendant of Yasuke. Right now, it's still in alpha stage, so you're really just doing the just kind of traversing the area and fighting. But they're also in kind of the GoFundMe stage. But definitely wanted to highlight both of those because those games are really, really great. But yeah, other than that, like I said, you can find us at the Sandstorm Show Rebirth channel. We are giving away free merch too as well. If you are a new subscriber, we are giving away free merch. If you are already a subscriber, which maybe a lot of you still are, we are doing a lot of giveaways on the channel live. So shout outs to Tabby Cat. She won some free merch last week, as well as Jay Biggs won some free merch last week as well. So if you want some free merch from the Sandstorm Show, we have shirts, we have water bottles, swag bags, the hat as you see up here that we're giving away. So come on through. We would love to have you.
Nice. All right. And then Zoo. What's up, man?
Yeah, I'm Zoo. You'll see me around. I go by many names, such as Last Cool Kid on the Internet. Who the fuck does he think he is? You can find me, depending on what you want, you can find me in several places. If you like dumb shit, find me at Flipping the Switch. If you want the dumb shit. If you want slightly more intelligent shit, you can find me at Switch After Dark. That's where I'm doing my video reviews. If you want to see me on Twitter, I'm Happy Wanderer with 1P, approximately 1P. At Happy Wanderer on Twitter. And then I'm also a digital bartender, and the link is in both my channels if you want to come and just hang out at the digital bar. It's a lot of fun. And yeah.
Nice.
All right. Then we got Stash, man, one of the busiest guys on the internet.
And Phil says, buy my hats. Buy a hat for your hat.
Buy a hat. There you go. Buy a hat. All right, Mr. Busy Man.
Yeah. Yeah, lots going on right now. As always, lots of reviews. Had a ton of videos go up since our last podcast.
Yes, you have. Like a lot. Guys, I almost thought it was my turn for a moment. It was like almost every day.
Yeah, it's pretty much every day. I have I did my Adventures of Elliot spoiler-free review that went up this morning at Star Wars Galactic Racer yesterday. Monday, Crazy Taxi, the new Aliens Fire Team game, Rhythm, Having Groove, review, Turok, tons of stuff. I got 4 more videos coming out. They're already scheduled from Summer Game Fest, Thursday through Sunday. And I just got this in. This is the M64. You guys are familiar?
Oh, nice.
They sent me a review unit. There it is.
Nice, dude.
Oh, that's cool as shit, man.
Yeah, that's sweet.
Yeah.
Fuck
So,
yeah,
and then guys, the controller. So they sent me that Pro controller, the controller that's $89.99.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
This
Nice.
controller is insane. I cannot tell you how amazing it feels. I mean, obviously, I'm going to be testing it out. I was just updating it for the podcast, the console.
Mm-hmm.
So got that coming up, and look, I'm gonna spare the long spiel because there's a lot of games I'm working on it. I'm not gonna go through them all, but yeah, just keep an eye on the channel. Lots of stuff. Thunderstash Gaming, tons more reviews coming. Lots of previews. And got some events. I can't say anything else, but I got some events that I'm going to be traveling for next month that wasn't expected, because obviously I presumed the next time we're traveling was PAX, but I got some stuff coming up, so there'll be more stuff on that too. That'll be fun.
All right. Well, guys, I'm Nintendo Prime. If you don't know, I do daily news, rumor, leak content, speculation and stuff. Every now and then, talk about some single discussion topics, like one that I'm debating on, getting out about stuff we brought up today, such as the major media basically trying to whitewash away physical games with a bunch of bullshit. That's kind of something that I might make a video on one of these days if there's not enough news for me to cover. But sometimes you get videos like that out of me once in a while. They seem to be a bit polarizing, but it's just me ranting and raving, and it's fun. I like to do those once in a while. But yeah, otherwise we have the Nintenbyte Podcast, obviously every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Central Time. It feels weird to say this. We actually had a week where we didn't have an episode, which just feels so wrong. It felt so wrong. Like, even though I was coming back from the hospital at 2 hours after the show would have started, and I'm all doped up, and I was like, dude, why the fuck is there no podcast, man? What the fuck's happening?
It's a routine, man.
What is going on, guys? So last time I was gone, when my son was in the hospital, no problem. Now I'm in the hospital, there's a problem. Anyway,
hey, that might have been. Hey, to be fair, that might have been fun though.
Doped out of my mind. I probably should have went live. I was, dude, they had me on that dilute or whatever. That's like 5 times as strong as morphine, dude. I was fucked on my mind. It's probably the best I've ever felt in my life, and I'm like, dude, this is great. Am I getting this shit out of surgery? This is the shit I want out of surgery.
He's like, provide your boy with the good stuff.
Like, I know you can't prescribe this at home for me, but hey, you better have me on a dose of this when I leave. All right?
Prime is on a fucking trans time journey going to fucking. Dude, he's having a trip to the fucking obelisk in fucking 2001: A Space Odyssey.
Pretty much, dude. It was awesome. I'm like, I'm just like freaking out. Where's the podcast? I'm like, all right, we canceled that shit. I'm such a douchebag. Why did I call it early? You can still do it. Let me text them. No, he was like, it's 10 o'clock. Don't text the boys to try to run a show at 10 o'clock at night.
Hey, Loudboy says Nintendo Prime and Zoo need to get together, have whiskey. You just missed it. We just did a little while ago.
Oh yeah. Dude, I gotta get some Blantons, man.
Dude, yeah, if you can find an extra bottle, holler at your boy. It's so hard to find now.
I know, and I found one and I was gonna buy it, then I was short, and I was like, okay, cool, I'll come back tomorrow. And
No,
fucking bought.
No, you won't. No, you won't. No, you fucking won't.
It's fucking bought. Before I got back, I'm like, fuck.
And you know the problem? It's all the fucking. I'll tell you what it is. It's the outsiders that have come, and it's the fucking John Wick yuppies, man. Ever since that fucking movie came out, and they drank Blantons in John Wick, these motherfuckers have just been going and just stealing all the Blantons, man.
I mean, to be fair, it's good.
It's not good for me.
Dude, I haven't legit tasted Blantons in years. It was just a bar that had a shot of it because I couldn't find it. But
it's not good for me. All these fuckers used to drink Pappy's, and they can have it. Pappy's is good, but I like my Blantons. And then John Wick came out and fucking ruined everything.
You mean he turned people onto the fact that, hey, this is actually pretty good. No one knows about it.
Yeah, it's good, and it doesn't cost $1,200. Yeah.
Yeah, and no one knows about it.
Now it does. No, now it.
Now you know. Now you know about it. It's like, oh fuck, because you can't make enough of it. The way it's made, they can't.
Hey, I've still got Basil Hayden. They haven't taken that from us yet. If you want the cheaper, still got Basil Hayden, which is pretty good. Still got Booker's. You can still find Booker's pretty well. But Blanton's is my standard, man, and having it be this rare sucks.
All right. Okay, guys. So yeah. Anyways, the rest of my content is just whatever. I do Q&As and all that. If you guys want to tune into those, they go to members only after. We have a members only Discord as well. If you guys ever want to screw around in there, people are always hooking up and like playing games together and stuff. That's it. That's something that happens a lot on that server. So, yeah, we just got a really friendly community. Otherwise, guys, you can go check out the podcast clips channel as well. Drop a subscription over there if you want. We do live stream the podcast over there as well. If you want to just enjoy the podcast and you just love the podcast, you're not really into my content or Stash or Game Birds or whatever, and you literally just love the show and nothing else. Hey, we literally have a channel that's nothing about just the show. You can watch the stream over there. You can get the clips over there. Eventually, we'll probably do shorts of some of the funnier moments. Eventually, someday. That's my plan anyways. When we get there. Right now, I'm just trying to get my own channel kind of back to where I want it to be. But yeah, and just to let everyone know, as a reminder, as Sash just brought it up, the Nintenbyte Podcast is going to PAX. So
hell yeah.
If anyone else is going to be at PAX West and just wants to come and say hi, we're going to pretty much be there every day. We're going to be on the floor every day. We're going to, sometimes we might be doing meetings and stuff. That does happen, but it's not that hard. If you want to ever hook up with us and say hi, take photos, or just shoot the shit. There's sometimes that, we usually have at least one night that we go out to the bars. If you want to end up out at one of the bars we're at and hang out, I'm cool with that. Yeah, it's just a nice little opportunity. If you guys go to the Mix, we're going to the Mix for sure. That's like a guarantee we're going to that. So we bumped into a fan there last year at the Mix. So
well, I told Player Essence was trying to get me to come out to too many games. I'm like, you wouldn't even know who the fuck I am. He's like, I promise you I would. I need to come out to you guys one time, just see if you even know who the fuck I am when I shake your hand.
I'm just gonna listen to the voice. That's all I need.
I love
Well, you have a very distinct voice. That's how I'd be able to tell.
Okay, all right. Well, maybe because he's like, I promise I know who you were. I'm like, I don't know, man. And that's part of the fun is the anonymity.
Yeah, dude, it's a lot of fun. I want to go to too many games sometimes, dude. There's a lot of other YouTubers that go to it that don't go to these other ones. They're like, oh, you should come out here. I'm like, Yeah, I know, but like, dude, it's a business trip for me, man. Like,
right.
There's nothing really happening that makes it worth my money to go out there because I'm not covered in video games. I've been going out there to hang out. That sounds fun. But fuck, I got a family, man. I gotta fucking work. I wish I had the time to just go have fun.
Back.
You know, but maybe one of these years, you know, I always say my kids won't live with me forever, right? So maybe I make it out there when I'm 55 and no one wants to talk to me anymore. Yeah. And I'm a grouchy old man talking about 15 miles both ways to buy my physical games in my day. That wasn't even to buy. We just got to rent it from the local library.
Oh, shit, I thought there was two of us for a second.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll catch you same time next week. I don't know who the guests are next week. I'm not going to load it up. It doesn't matter because Gamebird and Eric should be here. That's the real return to form.
Nice.
Catch you guys later.
Eric and the bird.
Good night.
Peace.